Um, can I get just 15, 20 seconds of radio silence? I'm going to start some music and then I'll intro y'all. All right, cool.
In a lot, Mark.
Professional.
Everybody, welcome
Hello.
to an evening of Collateral Damage. Say hello to our primary host, although we have a sub-host of great renown. We'll begin with Marcus Flores, who will introduce us all.
Oh, golly. Hello, everybody. What's up? Thanks for joining us. It's your old pal, Uncle Cuss here, and we're going to go be nerds. And what do you expect? When you're our channel, we're a bunch of nerds. So today we're going to be playing. Let me bump into my pop thing one more time. Hold on. We're going to be playing Collateral Damage, run by the creator and illustrator, Mr. Daniel Salcido, old friend of the stream, and you can. There we go. You can find his game on DriveThruRPG as well as clericgames.com, I believe, in physical as well as PDF form. And, well, thank you. And I'm going to give a chance for everybody to introduce themselves, and I'm going to turn it over to Daniel, and then we'll start getting the game started. He's going to give us a description about it and all good thing. We'll go around from my... What is this thing called? Am I right? Yeah, there it is. Hey, Daniel, say hi.
Hi. I'm Daniel Salcido. I'm the creator and illustrator of Collateral Damage, the role-playing game. And like Marcus said, I'll give you my little elevator pitch about it. It's So imagine that the world we live in is a movie that somebody else is watching, whether it's another dimension or whatever. You're living in a movie world. The problem is you're not the stars. All of you guys tonight are going to be the extras in the background. Not even really the extras. You're those poor lowly saps that are like 5, maybe 6 blocks away from the camera that are trying to buy like lunch at like a little like deli stand. And next thing you know, like Captain America comes crashing through a wall and you're like, this is my day. So that's kind of the concept of Collateral Damage. Tonight we will be playing through. I'll wait for all that. Let's finish introductions. I'm sorry. I start getting to talking.
No, that's right. That's right. I too am drinking. Hold on.
Yeah.
After Mr. Daniel Salcido, next person I'm saying hi is a regular on the stream and one of my co-creators on WeRollDeep.com is Rob. Yo, what's up? Say hello, Rob.
What up, fam? What's up, all you geeks out there? Good to geek out. Good to see Daniel Salcido.
What?
I miss his better half. I hope she pops in at some point, but whatever. I'll take what I can
She
get.
might come by a little later.
The worst half is still pretty damn good, so I'll take it.
I appreciate that.
It's a pretty fantastic half.
Hey, Rob, how you doing?
Running tech tonight and being our hero in Zero. It's Mark Johnson. Say hello.
I'm not sure how much longer I can hold it together. It's so far going well with the technology here. I am looking like your broadcaster guy who's in the broadcaster room with the, generic wall that I could be anywhere, and I am everywhere. So, but right now I'm here, running for my life from something. I think,
That's right. Yeah.
and I'm very much looking forward to this.
Awesome.
Yeah, running away from things together, buddy.
Yeah.
We're escaping together. It's gonna be a good time.
All of us are running from
Two
something.
folks
Yeah.
joining us here on the old stream, buddy of mine, Mr. Philip Jacobson. Say hello.
What is up, fam? I am Philip. This is my first stream. Yeah, all those hand gestures. It's great.
It's the best intro so far.
I'm really excited. This game sounds like a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Glad you're here, Philip.
Yep. And completing the fam is a new friend of ours, Mr. Jeff Pally. Say hello.
Hello, I'm Jeff, coming to you live from Boulder, Colorado for the first time ever. So You're welcome. I'm sorry.
Boulders.
You're welcome. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
sorry,
That's the title of my memoir now.
I thought you were about to say that's the name of my sex tape, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's about mine.
Oh, God.
You're welcome. And
It's
I'm
the
sorry.
first
And I am
time
sorry.
Speaking of being welcome and sorry, we switch it over to Daniel. Daniel, take it from here. Give us all the
Awesome.
good stuff. Let's get this game started.
Word.
I'm effing excited.
All right. So, in Collateral Damage, normally, thank you, Marcus, for holding up the physical copy. Marcus was one of the Kickstarter backers, as well as Rob. Love you guys. They were also at my wedding, so that's pretty cool. All of you,
I officiated the wedding. As a
that
matter
is
of
true.
fact.
Marcus did officiate the wedding as a very good DM. It was like a D&D adventure. It was fantastic.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
It was. I'll have to show you pictures, Mark, and hopefully you, Philip, and Jeff can become close friends with me too.
Was there a
right,
loot table for the
deal.
bar or what?
What's that?
Did you have to roll in a loot table for the bar?
No, but I do remember a lot of people saying put it on Mondo's tab, and that's my
That's
dad.
right.
He loved
Yeah.
to do for drinks.
Mondo's
shout out
tab
to
was
Armando
full
Salcedo.
that night.
Yeah. He actually was still shocked that people didn't drink more. Anyways, Collateral Damage. This is a game that I started to create about 7 years ago, and like actually putting it together. Marcus actually helped me out early on with suggestions on how to structure it and how to teach it in text form. And when I moved up here to Seattle from San Francisco with my partner and wife, Betsy, I made some really close friends that I introduced my game to. They wound up investing in it, and we got it on Kickstarter last year. It got funded, and now it's out there. And this summer, thank you, Rob. I know I love all of the support I got from my friends. But this summer, not only did I fulfill all of the orders from Kickstarter, but I was able to put it up on Roll20 with some help from my buddy who did the character sheet. To all of you out there, it is a small team that put this together and put it out. And right now, I'm still busting my butt on it because I believe in it and I love it. And now moving on to tonight's game. Normally in a game of Collateral Damage, I, as the story master, would roll up what setting we were going to be playing in, and then you would roll up your character classes. Instead, we're playing one of the pre-generated adventures that is on Roll20 and inside the core rulebook called The Death Fist Club. And you guessed it, it's a horror coming-of-age story. Which is obviously, as you can imagine, it's a parody of The Breakfast Club.
Whoa.
Sorry, am I not allowed to say that?
Spoilers.
Right? Oh, I'm sorry.
Mind
of
blown.
the brunch gang.
Brunch
Yeah,
feast.
it's the
Brunch feast.
wait,
gang.
but wasn't that cereal club team? They were called like the breakfast bunch, I think was something. Anyways, I might have dreamed that. Anyways, so to help speed this along for your character creation, everyone out there watching, Collateral Damage, you can play with one storyteller or story master in my game, which and 2 to 6 individuals. And even with character creation and relationship and world building, it all lands under 3.5 hours usually. So for you guys, this pre-generated adventure, let's see where it goes. It also depends on how great your crew is at improving and having fun. The first thing I want you guys to do is...
If you're unfamiliar with it, what are some of the genres that could be played outside of this horror genre?
Thank you for asking, Rob. There's 5 different main settings in the core rulebook, which are fantasy, horror, western, superhero, and sci-fi. Out of those 5 settings, there are 9 unique character classes to them that players roll randomly. Everything in the game to help generate the story is rolled randomly. You guys will be rolling your relationships on how your characters know each other in this world. You'll be rolling randomly on daily objectives you'll have during each act of the game. Because a game of Collateral Damage, just like a movie, is done in 3 acts. And each act, you guys will have 3 scenes of the movie to try to accomplish your objectives. So it turns this role-playing game kind of into a board game as well, because you have these objectives, but it's all through story. I will say, as a story master in this game, you literally can do anything as long as you can explain or argue it enough. I can't stress that enough, because a lot of people are always like, well, can I run down the street? Do I have enough movement to run down the street? I'm like, you don't have a movement. How fast do you think your character can run? What's your flaw? Do you have asthma? No, you can't make it down the street. You can make it halfway down the street before you need your inhaler. So there's a lot of things. Even in one game, a player was playing in the sci-fi setting, and they were an alien riffraff, basically an alien gangster thug, whatever. And they said, well, I think because I like to rep my crew wherever I go, I have some science fiction, like dimensional portals spray paint, to where I make a tag and I can jump through it and pop out where I want. And I said, sure, that sounds rad. Let's see where this goes. Because the more crazy your story gets, the more you're affecting the actual plot, which is the movie you guys are living through. So I just like to tell a really funny story. The game's Collateral Damage literally is an excuse to tell a collectively hilarious story together. And
so like, I'm drunk at Saturday night at about 11 p.m. and I walk into Blockbuster and I'm like, okay, what's left? What's on the shelf here?
That's literally the movies I'm trying to represent.
Also, I love that the game is based on the sacred numerology of 3s. There's everything breaks down into a 3.
3s.
9s and 3s and 9s.
3-9.
I mean, it really is. 3, 6, 9. Come on, we can all sing it. 12, 18, 15, 18. Oh man, I messed it up. Sorry.
3, 2, 1. Contract.
So to start the game, though, one of the first charts you roll on is mentality. This is going to kind of help you guys role play your characters. So if you all have a D10 around you, or if you want to use the chat on Roll20, you can swipe /roll, put 1 D10, and it'll roll for you. But you can also just roll a D10. That's just code that Roll20 has for any generic game. You can use that code.
Okay. I'm gonna roll my physical dice until we get into rolling on your character sheet.
That is true. Oh, also, yeah, that's another thing.
That was done by Patrick, I believe, right?
Yes, my buddy Patrick out in Wichita, Kansas. He did the code for the character sheet on Roll20. And I've already gotten some really great responses from the fans who are really enjoying it, because it's a really smooth character sheet. Anyways, so I will go around the table and get your mentalities. We'll go ahead, and I'm going to go off of the lineup of you guys on Roll20. So we're going to start with Mark. What did you roll?
6.
6. Mark, your character's mentality is greedy. You want everything for yourself. Sharing is not in your vocabulary.
All right.
And you can mark that on your character sheet under your mentality. And then next would be Phil.
All right, I rolled a 4.
Phil, your character is bizarre. Your unusual appearance and unexpected outbursts keep many around you on edge.
That's gonna be a hell of a thing.
What's really funny is there's so many games where somebody rolls their mentality and I tell them what it is and they're like, oh yeah, that's like just me every day. And I'm like, oh, okay, that works. So then next up is gonna be Jeff.
I also got a 6.
So Jeff, since you're the first to roll a dual number or a number that's already been rolled, you have a choice of either subtracting it by 1 and making it a 5, which is flashy, flamboyant, or making it adding a +1 and making it envious. Which would you like? Greedy, envious, or flashy?
We're going flashy and flamboyant.
Flashy and flamboyant, your presence must always be known. You love attention.
Awesome.
All right. Marcus.
It's like real life.
What did I get? I got a 9.
You got a 9.
Well, I got a 5.
I'm not.
Marcus, your character is ambitious. You are determined. You will be the best at any and everything you do.
You die first.
Yes.
So you're going to be the one who runs into everything.
Yeah.
All right, Rob, what's your number?
1. Numero uno.
Numero uno. Rob, you are childish. Literally, you have the mind of a small child.
Yeah.
What is that? Bing. Bing.
So now that you guys have your mentalities, we already know we're playing in the horror setting. Usually the story master at this point would roll a percentile roll or a D100 and figure out which setting they're in. In the horror setting, let me give you the blurb so you know what a horror setting kind of feels like. Somehow it's always dark out, even if it's daylight, but the weather should be the last thing on your mind in this setting. Creeps, freaks, monsters, and heaps of dead bodies await you. Keep your eyes wide and alert, and remember the number 1 rule. If you're going to have sex, you're probably going to die.
Yeah.
And that's the horror setting. So now everyone is going to roll their D10 again, and this is going to be for your character class. And this is kind of basically like in any role-playing game, this is going to be your race and class. I mean, race and sex is not a thing in this game. I kind of just assume everybody's whatever.
Those are 2 of my favorite things. Racing and sex.
Racing sex.
Racing sex is not like trying to get to the. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
It's a marathon.
It's not. Oh.
Make
I'm
sure
just
everyone's
happy to be invited to the race.
I'm just really happy to be here.
Yeah.
Like earlier with our joke, like our sex tape. Thank you, and I'm sorry.
Thank you, and I'm sorry.
All right, so now starting with Rob, what did you roll?
A3.
A3. Rob, your character class is the local deputy.
Ooh, nice.
Your blurb is, you grew up in this town. Even though you're the law in these parts, people around here still see you as that dorky kid in high school. You get no respect from the locals.
Yeah, because I'm Kid Cop. Oh, this is about to be awesome.
Oh, shit, Kid Cop.
If you, in a second, once I get all your classes, you guys will be getting the artwork from the core rulebook of your characters, so you have a pawn that you can use on the chart. And yes, that makes perfect sense because before people see it on the my head.
Oh no.
It disappeared. Sorry.
It's the invisibility cloak.
You'll see it. It looks like a very dorky cop.
Dang those neutral tones.
So then next is going to be I went Rob. So Marcus.
2.
Marcus got a 2. Your character. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, Rob. I didn't finish with you. I apologize. I forgot to give you your stat adjustment. So on your character sheet, your stat adjustment is going to be a +1 to your luck.
That goes under the bonus.
Yeah, that'll be in the bonus section. And if you click on the plus sign, it'll turn it to a minus sign. Or you can type it like Rob did as well. Oh, yeah, I can do that now. Then I know who you are.
Those are awesome.
Well, you'll get to roll and see what happens. It's fine. And then for flaws you have to choose from in this, each new players how to role play, and it's just a lot of fun with veteran role players because they get really into it. So your flaw choices, Rob, are A, you are dumb as hell. B, you are overly heroic and you put yourself in dangerous situations constantly. Or C, you are really bad at shooting your firearm.
Cop.
I'm gonna go for overly heroic.
Nice. You're just gonna run into everything, huh?
Believe that the world can be saved. Still has.
Oh, awesome. That's great to hear. All right, now going back to Marcus, I apologize. So you got a 2, and your character is the goth kid. Your hair, clothes, and makeup are as black as your dead heart. Oh, the doom. Black. As somebody who wears all black almost daily, it's my favorite character class. Yeah, Marcus got the face for it and everything. Is
that blue steel?
Yeah. Your stat adjustment on your character class is a -1 to luck and a -2 to your vulnerability, because like most goths, you're able to hide easily. You're an ambitious goth, I just realized. That's really fun.
-1 luck and -2
to vulnerability. You guys will have base numbers in just a second.
Gotcha.
So then next up is going to be Jeff.
Oh, I gotta get my flaws in.
Oh, I'm sorry, your flaw. Right, I keep skipping that. Sorry. I get nervous.
It's your game.
I get nervous. All right. Your flaw choices for a goth vamp, or you speak in. You're a chain smoker and can't run away from anything for very long.
I'm gonna go with chain smoker.
Right. So anytime you're running away from something, you need to remember that.
Some Samponera light.
I was gonna say it's either gonna be cloves or like what's the Canadian brand that one of my friends loves so much? It was this box. What's that?
Joram? Isn't it DJ?
It might have been, yeah.
Dejarum?
Yeah. Oh, Dejarum cloves. That's right.
It's not the delivery, it's the Dejarum.
The Dejarum. No, I smoked Samponeras. That was my gothic clove jam. 2 packs a day, proudly. Nice. Still here to see it. Don't know how I did.
I'm happy to know that. All right, so next up is going to be Jeff now.
All right, here we go. I got a 6.
A 6. You are the local historian. Your tweed suits and awkward facial hair make you an outsider, but your foreign accent and insane amount of arcane lore, history, and curses makes you a hit with the co-eds.
Nice.
Your stat adjustment is a +2 to luck and a +2 to resilience.
Wow.
I did roll a 6 as well, by the way, so I don't...
Okay. You're actually going to be... Okay, so you'll have a choice of between 5 and 7. So when I get to
after
you,
he's done, yeah.
Yeah. When I get to you, Mark, I'll help you out with that.
Cool.
And then for the local historian, Your flaw choice is A, you have a heavy accent and are hard to understand. B, you're totally creepy and often frighten people. C, you're a fake and actually have no idea how to stop the evil forces, but refuse to let anyone know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, what are you going to go with on that?
Those are all really good.
Thank you.
Let's go with I am a fake, flashy, flamboyant local historian.
That's fantastic. I think that was a great decision.
Thanks.
So before Mark, it's actually Phil on the way my cameras go, or your boxes are. So Philip, what did you roll?
I rolled an 8.
Oh, you are my favorite class of this setting. You're the paranormal fanatic.
Oh, yes.
Your van has a wicked paint job of featuring the Death Star and a half-nude Princess Leia.
Nice.
And it smells pretty dank, too. People around town have grown to shrug anything you say off and think you're kind of a joke. The bloodshot eyes, long hair, and X-Files t-shirt isn't helping your case either. Your stat adjustments are -2 to luck and a +2 to vulnerability.
All right, so it's a minus. You said it was a -1 to luck. A
-2.
A -2.
Yeah.
And a +2 to vulnerability.
Yep. And your flaw choices are A, you think everything is a conspiracy and you can prove it.
Right.
B, you are overly paranoid and think you are being followed. Or C, you're a huge pothead. Which I don't see a flaw in that, but somebody said it was.
Honestly, like, let me get him again.
Right.
I don't want to just go for like the Sparrow pothead.
A, you think everything's a conspiracy and you can prove it.
Because it is, and
Yeah.
I know.
Just like
B?
real life.
Yeah, exactly. B, you are overly paranoid and think you're being followed.
Hmm?
Or C, you're a huge pothead.
The heart wants what it wants. I think we're gonna go with pothead.
Sounds great.
So my
And
flaw
Mark, you said
is
you... Mine wants what it wants. Mark, you also said you had gotten a 6, so you have a choice of either being 5, subtracting 1 from it, becoming a 5 and being the babysitter, or adding a +1 to it and going to 7 and being the first victim's parent, or staying and being another local historian.
Wow, God. I feel like it'd be a lot of fun to be the victim's parents, to be just depressing.
right.
They'd be depressing as hell, though. Jesus. I'm gonna do this babysitter. I'm gonna try to see how good I could be my Valley Girl on this one.
That's perfect.
Yes. Babysitter.
So babysitter's description is, hey, maybe you're not the fastest or the brightest, but you're good with kids, attractive, and you know all the emergency telephone numbers to help in any situation. Your stat adjustment is something that I call dumb luck. If when you roll your stats, which is the next step for you guys, if you roll under a 5 for luck, it still counts as a 5. Basically, you're very lucky, because if you notice any horror movie, the babysitter for some reason lasts a little bit longer than you think they would because of how lucky they are.
Okay, cool.
So yeah. Speaking of the stat thing, what that means is you need to roll, or not roll. Yes, you do. You need to roll 3d6s. This is how you're going to get your stats. You're going to roll the 3d6s out, whether digital d6s or manual d6s. And for each d6, you're going to assign one of those numbers. Sorry, Rob, I couldn't hear you.
I said, Manuel D6s. It didn't matter.
Okay. So what you're going to do with those rolls is you're going to take each die roll and put that number in one of your stats. So for Mark, your digital die roll or the squib that is on here, your digital die rolls, you'll take the first number and you will choose where that's going to go. Then the second number and then the third number.
Okay.
Ignore the total it gave you.
Do we still want low luck? Wasn't that a thing? Like you want your luck to be low?
No, that's vulnerability. So I was going to help you guys assign them. Usually I tell people in my game, not because I'm trying to control how you build your characters, but only because my game will kill you very fast sometimes. Luck is probably the most important stat in the game because luck keeps you out of, like, basically getting out of trouble. It's you're lucky avoiding situations, you're lucky avoiding confrontations or objects being thrown at you. So I usually recommend to put your highest die number in your luck. Because also some of you have some really bad stat adjustments that will take your luck down to a normal number, or help you get to a higher number. Next, I always say for vulnerability, put your lowest die number there. You never want vulnerability to be high because vulnerability is just that. If you failed at being lucky to avoid something, how vulnerable are you to the damage you've already taken? And then lastly, put your last die in resilience. And resilience is how fast are you at dusting yourself off and getting back on that saddle. Like, it's how you heal wounds, basically. In a game of Collateral damage, your characters are going to come across a lot of situations, and the first roll of any situation is a luck roll to see if it's going to affect you, contact you, hit you, bother you, whatever. If that happens, you take a wound, or a point of damage, however you want to describe it. It can be physical damage, but it can also be mental, physical, psychological, emotion could hurt you and wind up taking a point of damage away from
my
you.
jet black eye, I can't read them because the numbers are also jet black. So
you know,
it's so dark.
It's so dark. My dice are black dice
are
with black pips.
My dice are so very.
Well, they made them that way on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, my flaw. I noticed I didn't take a flaw. I have the list, though. And kleptomaniac seems good.
Oh, I didn't give you a flaw. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Oh, you're going to go with kleptomaniac?
Sure.
She's
forgot. Greedy.
So just,
she's greedy kleptomaniac babysitter. It's perfect.
That sounds about right. So for viewers, I apologize, Mark, but the babysitter flaws are A, you're a kleptomaniac. Yes. Somehow nobody seems to notice. That's what Mark's going with. Yes. B, you always make poor decisions. Or C, no matter what is happening around you, you're always on your phone. So Mark went with the kleptomaniac.
Yeah, that's more familiar to me, my personal life.
I'm like a kinder from back in like the early days of accidentally. Where was I at? Oh, vulnerability. You have your stats and your adjustments. You'll notice with many d6s you roll. That's according to the dice chart at the bottom.
You cut out a little bit there. Can you try that again, Daniel?
Adjustments. It'll give you a dice total or a score total, and that's based off of the dice chart at the bottom, and it'll tell you how many dice you roll. And in a situation in the game, like I said, you have 3 acts. So during a situation, during Act 1, I roll 1d6 for every conflict, or every situation. So I'll roll 1d6 against your luck, 1d6 in vulnerability, 1d6 in resilience. When Act 2 comes along, I move up to 2d6s, raising the stakes for luck and resilience, but 1d6 for vulnerability, and I'll explain that in a second. But vulnerability can, for me, never goes over 1 die. And the third act, I have 3d6s for luck and resilience and 1d6 in vulnerability. The 1d6, I'm trying to make sure it's over me so people can see I'm holding 1 die. But the reason for that is in luck and resilience checks, you guys want to roll higher than me, equal to or high. Roll equal to me or lower, and because you want to be less vulnerable. So it's the easiest way to describe it. Now that you guys have your character classes and your stats, is everybody good to move on? You got your stats? Word.
I'm good.
This is the first time I've been happy with a 1. So thank you for that.
I mean, you're not the first person to tell me that in this game, and that makes me happy.
But I am the last right now.
Right now, this is the very last game I'll ever play.
No, I mean, in terms of chronology, I am the last one.
That's
told
fair.
you.
Oh, right.
That is true. I see what you're saying now. All right, so the next step, usually in a game design, would be rolling your genre. We already know what genre. Oh, that's the best background you could do, Mark. You're inside the halls.
I've been waiting for this transition.
So normally in a game of collateral damage, like everything else, you'd roll a die, or the story master would roll a d10 to choose what genre your movie is in. So we're in a horror movie or a horror setting, but what kind of movie are we in? We're in a coming of age tale because it's a parody of The Breakfast Club, a coming of age story. So there's a lot of different options between the main settings and the genres that can be rolled together. I'm not a statistician, so
Superstitious?
Superstitious. We'll go with that. I'm not superstitious, so I'm not good with numbers. So now the next thing that we get to do with you all is you now know who you are in the world of the Deathless Club in Sherman Meadows. But you guys don't know yet how you all are connected. So we're going to do relationships. Relationships are done as 2d10 rolls by each player. One of them associating a relationship to the character to their left and the other associated to the character to their right. Knowing that we're doing this all digital, I'm going to go by camera screen. So
Are all our cameras the same? Because
let's see. I'm looking at me to the top right, then Marcus, then under Marcus. Nope. All right, fantastic. So I'm gonna tell you what your relationships are to each person, and you guys can mark it down on your character sheets where they say relationships.
Randomizing that is by doing it by people's birthdays. So whoever's, assuming that January 1st to December 31st. So mine is February 28th. So whoever might be in January or March, whatever is.
I see what you're saying.
I'm not saying.
All right. Yeah, we could
you're
do
just
it
trying
that
to get
way.
more presents right now, aren't you?
Or the name of your childhood pet, maybe your mother's maiden
We
name.
can do it alphabetically. Like, there's a lot of options.
But whatever.
I like
It's
that.
your street you grew up on and your maternal grandfather's middle name.
Oh, I thought that's how you got your porn name. Anyway. All right, so we'll start with, I'm going to go by the cameras that I got. So we're going to start with Mark. Mark, give me a D10 roll.
All right.
And this is going to be to your relationship to Rob's character.
I got a 5.
You got a 5. Your relationship is Rob's character is clueless to the fact that your character longs for their demise.
I long for his demise.
You long for their demise. Why do you want Rob's character to die? You get to come up with the story for this.
Oh my God. Well, he broke my heart. I assume would make the most sense.
All right.
The
deputy broke.
Oh yeah,
the
she
babysitter's
totally
heart.
would have hooked up with the deputy at some point.
I mean, that's fair.
Well, after babysitting his kids or during.
Yeah. And
I
she's,
think I've seen that video before.
He does not have children.
Yeah.
And
This
Anymore.
cop does not.
Maybe the secret
anymore.
is we're secretly married, and if he dies, I get the insurance.
I mean, if that's what you want your relationship to be, then yes, that can be it.
Sure, let's do that.
That's once again, I want to stress to the viewers at home as well as you guys, this game is a huge farce. Like, you guys can go, you guys help create the story. As Marcus likes to run some of his Dungeon World games I've ran in, we just create the environment around us, and it gets nutty. What were butterflies in one of your worlds? I think they were like sharks.
God, they were sharks, yeah.
yeah, the sharks with wings or something like that. So yeah, like anything can go in this game as well.
Piranha 2, the spawning.
So Mark saying that you guys are married is now canon.
Yes,
basically.
although no one knows we're married. It was like one of those, like, we got drunk, went to Vegas.
You guys still aren't completely sure what happened, but
Yeah.
you do know you got a life insurance
And
policy.
we're not supposed to talk about it. We're not supposed to talk
Man,
about it.
coming of age is weird.
I mean, you're not the ones coming of age. You guys have lived your lives. All right, so Mark, go ahead and give me another D10 roll.
All
And
right.
this is going to be your relationship to how do I have this? So that was to Rob. So this is going to be your relationship to Marcus.
All right, I got a 9.
A 9.
9?
Mark, your character and Marcus's character were once in a very long and serious romantic relationship.
Yeah.
Why
That
didn't
makes
it work
sense.
out? Do you want them back? This is where you get to add more story, Mark.
Yeah, that's why I smoke so much now.
Well, yeah, she's the reason why. Yeah, that would probably make a lot of sense. I'd probably drive you fucking crazy. But I steal stuff for you all the time, so probably a lot of the jewelry that you're wearing, like, yeah, I stole it for you. Yeah, I could see that being like part of why I'm not with the cop is because I'm with the goth chick. But then that didn't work out either. Maybe I don't know.
Oh,
It's
maybe
still-
you're on the fence between them.
Yeah, it could be. It could be a little bit of a not really sure where I'm going with this. You know, still
That's
experimenting. I haven't really defined myself yet.
Nice.
What is
All
this?
But of course, she has to
So-
pass as straight. Otherwise, she'll get in trouble because it's
Yeah.
the 80s.
Oh, right, the 80s.
Oh, right, 80s.
Yeah.
Mark, that's what you're going to put down on your character sheet under
Okay.
your roles. And for
Cool.
Marcus and Rob, that's what you're going to put underneath their roles. Marcus, you're going to be the character to the right of Mark. And Rob, you're the character to the left. So now going to Rob, go ahead and give me a D10 roll. And this is going to be your relationship to Philip's character.
They're on my right or left.
Shall I pick which?
They're going to be on your right.
All right.
8.
An 8. Your character feels that this character's flaw has deeply impacted their life. So Philip's flaw is that his paranormal fanatic is a pothead. How did this impact your life? It's deeply impacted your life, by the way. You are a deputy, but it is the 80s. Marijuana is highly illegal.
I've been as Carlos the Kid Cop, as a 17-year-old cop who just won the local sheriff's.
It was a drawing for somebody to get a deputy badge.
You found it in a box of cereal.
And one of the first things that I was sent to do was to go up to the old moon tower.
Yeah.
And I heard a couple of kids were up there smoking pot. And
Those
I'm
kids.
used to seeing Philip up there smoking the pot with the kids and rambling on about the UFOs, except for this time.
You got stuck in my Bigfoot trap.
He started setting bear traps because he was paranoid.
This time we actually saw something.
All right.
I cannot quite pin down if it was a true alien or not, but Philip seemed very, very convinced that he knew exactly what it was and that it was supposed to arrive when we got it.
All right. I like
The
that.
missing ingredient was you, man.
And I saw his face, and I
And I was a believer. All right. And then go ahead and give me another D10 roll when you get a chance. And this is going to be your relationship back over to Mark's character, the babysitter.
And that one is a 4. 4 with
A 4. So not only are you guys secretly married, but your character lent something to the babysitter over a year ago, and they still have yet to give it back. What is the item? Why did you lend it to them, and how much do you want it back?
my heart.
Oh,
I want it
Yes.
back yesterday.
nice.
My heart.
It goes on.
I gave the babysitter a locket shaped like a heart that had a picture of
Aw.
us in it.
Oh.
That was so sweet. I
But
remember that.
but something happened, something paranormal happened with it, and it actually does now have my heart. And
Oh,
It is
shit.
a horror world. Why not?
All right.
is going to use it to try to figure out how to kill me without making it seem like
Mhm.
Is the babysitter got like some magic?
Sounds like she's got a little.
Are we in like the craft out of
There's
nowhere?
that craft.
We'll say she's an arcane trickster type, maybe. There could be a little bit of a legerdemain.
All right, Philip, your turn. So your
All right.
first roll is going to be for your relationship to Jeff's character. And and so Jeff, this is going to be the character to your right. And you got an 8. Oh wait, no, that's Marcus. You got a 4. You and Philip's character are neighbors. What was the feud that soured your neighborly good will towards each other? Guys are neighbors that hate each other. What is that?
He just kept getting up in my space. Like,
Kept trying to smoke
don't
weed with
grow
you.
that back here. Take down your listening devices. Your floodlights go off at 2 a.m.
He was so
And it's
unreasonable.
Like, dude, blackout curtains fucking exist. I don't complain when you're out here with your barbecue.
And your weird books.
Your weird books. Like, man, all I've ever wanted is to chill, and all you ever do is front. And man, sometimes a weed cannot bend.
I mean, sometimes the weed.
I
cannot
am an
bend.
awful neighbor to.
Yeah.
I'm an awful neighbor to Jeff.
All right. And then when you get a chance, give me another D10 roll.
All right.
A 6. You and this is going to be your relationship back to Carlos the Kid Cop or Rob's character. I'll get all your names here soon, but I just love that Carlos the Kid Cop is there, and I really just enjoy Carlos the Kid Cop. So you got a 6. Carlos the Kid Cop and your character see each other almost every day, but have never spoken.
Oh
So
wow.
that's interesting. You guys have a very interesting relationship now. You guys have never really spoken. Where do you keep seeing each other, and why haven't you talked to each other yet?
He keeps seeing my van, and I keep like hiding in like various compartments inside of it.
Right? I know you're in there.
Well, like, so he's the kid cop. I'm obviously kind of behaving sort of childish myself, so I'm probably like also 17. So I probably just see him at school, and he's just that weird guy who wears his badge to school.
He's just that kid who dresses up as a cop to school every day.
I take ROTC very seriously.
But
Yeah.
I am paranoid, and like nobody ever comments on it, so I think like I'm just seeing like a secret policeman. So every time he comes close, I always like jump into a locker or something, like not even my own. Like I'll just
Dodging the 5-0.
exactly.
I love that Rob's Kid Cop, but there's a supernatural connection now with the babysitter
With the
that
locket?
potentially with married and with a locket. There's a conspiracy theorist who's like, no, I keep telling you that cop is 100 years old. He's aging backwards, and this babysitter has the locket that keeps his age secret.
Like, have you ever read that short story by F. Scott Fitzgerald, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button?
Yeah,
like, it would never work as a movie.
Nah.
All right.
But like, he's got that disease.
Yeah.
It's a curse.
He's got old man baby disease.
That happens. Philip, you are up for relationships. So go ahead and give me your first D10. This is going to be your relationship to Marcus's character.
Philip just went, I think.
I just went.
Oh, I'm sorry, Philip. Jeff. I'm sorry.
Oh.
It's like, it's the beard.
Yeah,
I'll go shave.
Yeah.
This is looking way too samey.
I'll figure something out during the
a
break.
coat like
Yeah.
that.
All right. So my relationship to Marcus is a 3.
A 3. Your character doesn't know who, or their character doesn't know who your character is, but you have a huge crush on the goth. What is it about the character that has your character so smitten?
He's just the one I can't get. You know, I'm in the
You're the
library.
local
I know
historian?
everything.
Yeah.
And I see him out on the stoop. That's as close as he ever gets.
Yep.
And he's just like, I just look at him through a window. Just
constantly.
It's always raining and your hand's always up on the window.
yeah,
The
the smoke.
Just crying, and she's just out there smoking.
And yeah, he's
The
out
smoke,
there.
yeah.
He's out there with this
With his
parasol.
clothes. Yeah, it's not even an umbrella, it's a parasol on your clothes.
Rain is just coming through.
And you got a top hat on, and you're just sad and wet and cold.
That's how he dresses.
That's how it works. So
Perfect.
to all my goth friends, please don't hate me.
Yeah, no, don't.
It's farcical. It's all farcical. I did this, like, I make fun of
Right.
jocks in here too,
Yeah,
and
that is
bike messengers and punks. And then your
It
next
sounds like I ride a farcical. I don't know. All right. 0 or
a 10. So this is your relationship back to Philip's character. Your
my
character,
horrible neighbor.
yeah, your horrible neighbor, which is really funny because you guys once got drunk together and had a heart-to-heart. What happened, and how well do you remember it? What was the heart-to-heart basically that you had with your neighbor you hate? This drunken heart-to-heart, and how much of it do you actually remember?
Oh man. I think I might have just listened to all of his conspiracy theories and being drunk agreed with everything. And I don't remember a damn
That'll
thing.
happen.
But you just remember me agreeing to everything.
And that's why he hates you now, is because you have just been like, I don't know, Bigfoot is not real. Why do you keep insisting? And you're just like, this is bullshit. You don't remember our great night.
You owe me. You called me brother.
We held
around
each other in
around the drum circle.
Cut your damn grass, will ya?
And lastly,
It's not
Marcus.
done.
It's not done growing. Marcus, lastly for you, could you please give me your first D10 roll?
First D10 roll is
And this is for your goth relationship back to Mark, the babysitter. Yeah, sorry.
Rolled a
Your
1.
love. Oh yeah, this makes perfect sense. You're in love with each other, but you've never actually said it to
Right.
the babysitter.
Yeah.
What is it about
yeah.
them that you love?
Oh, it's this terrible long-term relationship that was so like never said love, and then
Yep.
it's just such a club relationship, you know. It's like, you know, we're together but only at the club, and
Don't want to be seen at the coffee shop afterwards.
yeah.
At the club. Got it.
What was sorry, what was the detail, Daniel? you said?
What is it about the babysitter that you love?
Oh, because she actually is a witch. And one of these days, you're gonna grant me immortality.
Totally. I will totally give you immortality if you're just really nice to me.
Yeah, whatever, babe.
There it is. That's what you're fighting with, Carlos. That's your competition. Totally, babe. Yeah, just give me power.
Hey, you want to go see Thelma and Louise tonight?
No, I'm gonna catch the Lost Boys for an 8th time.
Just really speaks to me.
I'm gonna
those
see that.
boys
I'm gonna
were
see
all
that documentary
found, right?
Interview with a Vampire.
Oh.
And Marcus, give me another D10 roll. And this is going to be your relationship with Jeff's character. Right.
That's a 6.
6. So you have a choice of because 6 has been rolled already. You have a choice of subtracting 1 from it and making it a 5. So 6, to remind you, was that you guys see each other every day but have never spoken. 5 is that you used to pick on, or their or character used to pick on you when you were younger. Or you can add +1 to it and make it a 7. And your character knows a deep, dark secret about their character.
Oh.
Picked on when you were younger. Never spoken but see each other constantly, or you know a deep, dark secret about them.
No, I know a deep, dark secret.
Sounds really good. What is the secret, and do they know that you know?
I don't think they know I know, because I found out that secret when I was in my Muggle form, but now that I am enlightened into a more like dark Gothic form.
Oh, because you've been hanging out with a witch.
Yeah, yeah. Like
What's the
like
secret?
I learned the secret when I was Pete Flanagan, but now that I'm Astaroth Bloodwine,
Strong blood wine.
she can't tell.
She can't.
Yeah, that identity. Pete Flanagan's dead to the world.
Pete Flanagan died in that 8th grade photo.
Yeah.
What's the deep, dark secret?
Oh, deep dark secret is she used to have this twin that was a weirdo. That
No, this is to Jeff. Jeff is the local historian.
Yeah, she used to have the historian used to have a twin that was this weirdo that used to hang around like the library.
Oh.
And I saw him like go wandering off in the woods one time with this axe, and then I didn't see him anymore, and their family doesn't talk about them anymore. So
So it's canon that the local historian may or may not have killed their twin brother.
Which was cool, and that's kind of why I hang around
the library.
The library so much.
Close to death.
To be close to a murder.
To be close to death, but I'm
Allegedly.
not bringing it up. I think dark souls should preserve each other's secrets.
It's a pact.
That's fantastic. All right.
Yeah, it's a
so-
pact.
We're not kidding, okay? It's a pact.
By the way, Story Master, I have 6 dots in fortitude.
You have 6 dots in fortitude.
I have
My-
6 dots.
My brew.
I'm sorry. I have
really
now.
tough.
Now I have 7. Now I have 7 in Majesty.
I had said Brujah's the only class I remember from Vampire. Why can't I remember?
Asimite, Toreador,
Oh wait, Nosferatu was one of them. Right?
Nosferatu.
Yeah, okay, I do
Yeah.
remember that because that was my first vampire I ever did in Vampire the Masquerade. So many dots.
Tremere. Thank you.
Oh God, Tremere. Anyways, once again to all of our goth friends out there, this
No,
all love.
those are the only clubs I go to. So.
Yeah, I mean, same. I mean, I'm a member of the Mercury in
And
Seattle.
I lived with Mark Reinhagen for years, so.
So
went up a lot of goths.
The final step to your guys' character creation, and it's going to be a step that you'll take at the beginning of each act, is you guys have to roll your d10 one more time for an objective. This is going to help you guide your role playing during each act. Like, what are you actually supposed to be focusing on versus what's happening around you? So if you could just give me a D10 roll, and this will be the last one of character creation. Starting with Rob. A 7. Rob, your objective is don't forget to pick up dinner. Whatever that, once again, I do want to remind you guys of a thing that I usually tell everybody when I'm doing demos at cons. At the end of each act, you guys will be getting bonuses or to your luck and resilience stats if you complete objectives, or a bonus to your vulnerability if you fail objectives. And to complete or fail an objective is completely whatever it's up to you. If you said that, well, at the end of that act I did have that chicken leg, then I would be like, oh well, yeah, I guess you brought something home for dinner. Or like some of these things are like beyond time. What does that mean? Well, if you can argue it, then maybe I'll just give you that victory. So Rob, yours is to pick up something for dinner. Mark, what was yours?
5.
Put yourself in harm's way without getting hurt.
Oh, all right. I can do that. I'm a bad bitch. I can totally do that.
I'm that bitch. Philip.
I got a
Phil.
10.
A 10. Don't take any damage this act. So you have to hide and do a lot.
Just me with like one of those like satellite hearing things.
Yeah.
Right? Totally. And then Jeff.
9.
A 9. Meet up with an old friend. And Marcus?
This was another D10.
Yes.
6.
A 6. Get to work. What does the goth do for work? We don't know yet.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to read you guys the blurb. So at the, every adventure module in Collateral Damage, we call it the back of the box blurb, because for those of you who are too young to remember the joys of a video rental place and not having the internet or seeing the trailer to every movie that's ever going to be made ever, you used to have to read the back of a box and be like, "Oh, that sounds awesome! It's starring Kevin Costner. This has to be good." And then you realize it's Waterworld, and you realize it's amazing. So basically, we call it the back of the box blurb because it's kind of like that. So here's the Deathbits Club's blurb. Life is hard growing up in the small town of Shermer Meadows, but it's going to get even worse for 5 teens that have to suffer serving detention on a Saturday. Each of these students come from different walks of life, and each is undergoing their own personal hell. Jason, an all-around juvenile delinquent with a mother who's never home. Carrie, a recluse loner who wishes desperately to fit in. Blair, the popular girl with everything going her way. Ed, the pumpkinhead, king of the nerds and exile of the cool clique. Fred, an all-American teen athlete and the most popular guy in school. They start their day hating the world and each other, but by the end of their punishment, they may just walk away with something more than they ever expected. Friendship. Boom!
Nice.
And we're going to take a quick break there. I have to use the restroom if that's okay. I don't know if I should
Cool.
tell that to
Not
everybody.
okay.
No, sorry, this is a stream. You can't break the stream.
Yeah.
You only stream
God.
for one stream
Well,
here.
I guess
Yeah.
I'm peeing myself
Yeah.
on the internet again. Do I get to keep the tips of this one?
So we do want to take a little 5 or 10.
Let's take, how do you guys feel? A 5 or 10?
5's good.
Let's
for
do a
me.
5.
That's good.
Yeah. Let's do a
All right.
5er, and then we'll be right back.
And you can all stay on Zoom.
7:47.
You don't have to go away. Just I'll
I'm gonna hit
switch
mute.
to- Yeah.
Switch to
You're
the
all
other
muted,
screen.
so don't worry about it.
Oh, cool.
Transitioning. See you in a bit, guys. 10 minutes. Back at 7:52.
Yeah.
We will be back in just a few minutes. Oh, did you hear me talk? Oh, weird. Wait, I'm gonna. Oh, yeah, you can hear me, but the world can't. That's fine. Yeah, my wife is trying on our caftans. It was our anniversary. We got matching caftans, so we look like we're in a cult. It's very sweet. Oh, we want to have like a moo party and just have a bunch of fabulous people in their moo. Oh yeah, I've reached my final form here. I always joke that yeah, I love Berkeley. It's great. I'm meant to be here. Although the regulations. Okay. No worries. Oh, actually, all of that was on the stream, what I just said. Okay. Nothing too innocuous. Welcome back, everybody. Daniel, take it away.
Awesome. All right. So thank you guys for being patient. I am back and we are ready to go. Let me reintroduce our cast as we have with us Marcus, aka Astaroth Bloodwine, the ambitious goth, and then Rob, Carlos, the kid cop, who's the local deputy, Mark, the greedy babysitter, who is Nikki Seven, Philip, who is the bizarre paranormal fanatic, the Squib, or Perry Blue Retton. I just got your name right now. Perry Blue Retton. I like that.
PBR, Perry Blue Retton, the Squib.
Yep.
It's
The
all
Squib.
good. I'll respond to most names,
Yeah.
frankly.
Bro, dude, I'm there. And then we have Jeff, the flashy local historian, who is Filbert Waddlestaff.
What
I know so
else?
much about so many things. You want me to tell you?
So the Death Fist Club starts out with the description of the map that you guys are looking at on Roll20 of the streets of outside Shermer Meadows High School, not Shermer because copyright. Shermer Meadows. You see some tokens on the board there already. These are the main cast of the actual plot of the Death Fist Club. You don't play in the actual plot. You guys play in the real story, which is what's going on around the actual plot. So here's the intro to the characters. And it starts off, and these children that you spit on as they try to change their worlds are immune to your consultations. They're quite aware of what they're going through. David Bowie. You watch Breakfast Club. But anyways. The skies above are gray and chill. Oh, let me get into my story master's voice. The skies above are gray and chill. Fall air breaks through the thickest of coats. This would normally be an average Saturday in the small town of Shermer Meadows, but it's not a normal Saturday. This is a Saturday that 5 high school teenagers will never forget, and neither will you. From across the street, you are able to see the parking lot of Shermer Meadows High School as 4 vehicles pull in. The first, a dark maroon. Hold on, I gotta find the tokens. The first, a dark maroon luxury car. After a few moments, a tall, gorgeous young woman steps out dressed in all black and a look of utter defeat. Next, a pale green station wagon pulls up and offloads a large-headed young man who looks a tad timid about his day. Then a much larger truck pulls up, quickly blocking the... sorry, I skipped a line. Quickly blocking the view of the larger-headed boy, and out hops a handsome, cocky, and frustrated-looking young man, walking up confidently as if nothing bothers them at all. Is a tall and degenerate-looking young man. He recklessly steps out in front of a vehicle, forcing it to slam on its brake. A shy, nervous wreck of a young lady exits the awkwardly stopped vehicle. As the cars that deposited the children drive off, the kids give each other a quick up and down, and with heavy sighs, they make their way into the school. Standing outside the main doors is an administrator wearing a brown tweed suit. You recognize them as the school counselor. Here, I do need to ask Jeff, the local historian, would you like to engage with the main cast of the movie?
Oh.
You have a choice because you, sir, are that administrator in the weird tweed suit. Your character is standing right there.
Oh, goodness.
I will give you control of them in a moment.
All right.
But this is, was it Filbert?
Filbert Waddlestaff.
Waddlestaff. That's what it was. All right. Boop and boop and boop. Boop. There's Filbert Waddlestaff, and you now have control of them. Would you like to address the main cast, or you can ignore them, letting them go about the movie, and you go to Chatterboxes for breakfast across the street?
Ooh, I would love to engage them.
Fantastic. The students have been dropped off and are making their way inside. Here's your chance to show them you aren't the bad guy, but a friend they can rely on, not like their authoritarian assistant principal, Mr. Vernon Hughes, who's the reason they even have to be here on Saturday. So, you decided to address your incoming students on their Saturday of detention. So, Mr. Filbert Waddlestaff, if you would please give me, let's see, give me your luck check first, and then or actually role play how you greet them. I would like to see that first.
Hello, everyone. I know you don't want to be here on a Saturday, but neither do I. But Mr. Hughes needs me here to watch you all to learn a lesson for something you've done. He didn't tell me. No one tells me anything. But yes, I guess that lesson is to be learned in a school on Saturday when there are no teachers and no supervision, which seems like a very perfect way to learn a lesson as a teenager. I mean, I've read a book saying that's important.
Jason, the hooligan of the kids, goes, "It's the 80s." Give me a luck check, please, to see how they how they react to your address. I got a 3.
I got a 4.
Perfect. So, everyone who's curious about the rules, in a luck check, if you roll equal to or higher than me, then you pass, which means you get to end your scene on a high note. You basically, your scene's over. You're able to have greeted the kids, and they think that you can be someone they can trust. And so when you get to pass that, you get to play out the rest of your scene in a positive. So, Mr. Waddlestaff, the teenagers have accepted your introduction and see you as the quirky new counselor with a funny accent. How do you want this scene to end as they are walking into the school and off the map?
I'm going to say, well, and since we're all having to be here on Saturday, I was planning to go over across the street to the Chatterbox to get some provisions for myself, and maybe I can grab you all some donuts or coffee or whatever you eat.
The last one walking through the doors is Fred, the athlete, and he high-fives you with his knife hand, and you're able to do like a fist pump just in time as you realize that it's the knives. You're like, yes, very good.
Yes, thank you. That was very exciting. Very exciting.
And you are accepted by the children. Next is going to be as the students are now in the school, the rest of you let me move you guys over to, we'll start with this introduction, which is for our local deputy, Carlos the child, or the kid cop, Carlos the kid cop. I apologize. Carlos the kid cop, you're at the local Gas and Gulp, filling up your cruiser, which is the blue box. Sorry, I didn't do artwork for a cop car. It started off.
I'll help.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
perfect. Now we know what it is.
And there's a light bar there. So.
Yeah, this is supposed to be like a see-through like canopy that you're parked under.
The immersion is complete.
It says topless Jeep cop cars.
Oh yeah, just like all cop cars in the 80s, topless Jeeps.
Uh-huh.
Especially in like the Midwest, weren't they in Illinois, right? Shermer, Illinois.
Shermersburg.
Yeah.
Shermer Meadows.
So this is your intro. It started off the same as every Saturday, 7 a.m., stop by the local Gas and Gulp, grab the daily surplus of gas, snacks, and caffeine that will aid you in getting through the day. The first real oddity about this Saturday is across the street, Normally, no one would be at the local high school on a Saturday, especially at 7 a.m. But here you are watching as 4 vehicles drive up, thinking to yourself, huh, wonder what's the hubbub. And then we're going to move over to, everyone's going to get turns. I got to do the intros though. Now we're at the local chatterboxes where I will be adding the wonderful
Philbert water stuff.
Oh, there you go. Waddle staff is now there. I had to find her token.
Oh, I'm so visual.
Tiny waddle staff.
A tiny waddle staff. He's big now.
There's my tiny neighbor.
That is
Great.
true. That is true.
Neighbors here.
Oh shit! I gotta go back and actually, Rob, I gotta give you next time we go back to that map. Could you remind me to give you control of your token? Because I forgot.
Not a problem.
Thank you. And then Philip, you now have control. Philip, you are sitting over here with Marcus's character. Good old Astaroth blood wine.
And
I'm gonna be
tell
staring
me
at
you
him.
remember a past life?
Just glimpses.
Just
It was
glimpses.
me running. I think it's through darkened woods. There were definitely brambles.
There's always brambles. They'll get you caught up. And I go ahead and I offer a cigarette.
Oh, there you go. It's the 80s, so smoking was still definitely allowed in restaurants, so you're fine.
Thank God.
My
Yeah,
heart
right.
goes pitter patter with the smell of a cigarette.
Yeah.
This isn't a cigarette.
Oh, right. That just smells like weed in the restaurant.
Still does it for me.
So this is the place you guys are in is called Chatterbox's Diner. The local Greasy Spoon Diner Chatterboxes is a staple in Shermer Meadows. Great, our best flapjacks you'll ever have. For some, it's a place of work. For others, it's a home away from home. Saturday mornings are usually quite busy, but for some reason, this morning is a tad slow. So, Mark, Nikki 7 is working back here in the top right corner behind the counter.
Okay.
I already showed you guys where the rest of you are, and that's your intro. And then what happens is as Mr. Waddlestaff enters the restaurant, there's a ping, like a notification chime on all of your cell phone devices. I like to mix up my timelines. This is 2080s.
Whoa.
No, it's still the 90s, but so nothing has advanced. We just reverted back to the regular 1980s, only we have
Cool stuff.
media.
Alternate timeline.
So it's the 2010s. And a notification chimes on your phone, and I will share what happens as oh, hold on. Okay, as the odd image of vehicles driving into the high school parking lot sets in and you watch the students make their way into the school, that's when many phones all chime in unison. And, sorry, I keep looking for stuff that I have. There it is. In unison, folks reach for their phones, and there it is. An anonymous person has posted an explicit picture of Mike Blair. I just shared it with you all on Roll20. This is Mike Blair's boyfriend with another woman. Today just got a whole lot spicier. The queen bee of Shermer Meadows High School will not be pleased about this. It's already gotten 20,000 views. While you guys are looking at this, yeah, this is some stuff right here.
Are those RGB cables going out of the back of that TV?
I mean, I know I mixed a lot of different things. So this has now happened, and I didn't realize I mixed all of these timelines until right now. And I'm like, you know what? I'm sticking with it. I'm gonna figure it out.
I've seen It Follows. This isn't any weirder.
It's
We're gonna move back over to the gas and gulp, where Carlos the Kid Cop.
Give me control. Give me control.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. You have it. Carlos the Kid Cop. As you're finishing up your normal monotonous daily routine at the good old gas and gulp, there is the skies begin to darken around you, and you notice a crackling of thunder. All of you, actually, even inside of the chatterboxes, can hear the rolling of the thunder, and there's flashes of lightning. Then there's a sudden burst of electricity as all the light bulbs explode, sending shards of razor-sharp gas pieces flying everywhere around you. What would you like to do? So there's like this static, as just like this storm is coming in, and there's this static, and it's all happened right after you got this notification on your phone.
It came through on my private phone, not the police.
This is on your private phone, yeah. You wouldn't be on Instagram on your, well, maybe you would. I don't know.
It's the 80s.
It's the 80s.
Welcome. You're on MySpace.
Not on.
You know, in the 80s.
MySpace from the 80s. Which was called just having normal friends and talking to each other.
Like the
It was
font
called
is just like
Slambook
that.
back then, and you just wrote it in.
It was just somebody's fucking trapper keeper full of shit things they wanted to say to
Number
everybody.
7. Oh, God.
Nikki Seven's a slut.
Honestly, good for her.
Yeah, I mean, right? Amen, Nikki. Here's to the future.
Look, we're all 17. We can be adults about this.
That's right.
Sorry.
As-
We're all playing 17, even though the actor's playing us at 32.
I was about to say, I was like, we're all in our old, I'm not going to call anybody's age out, but we're all older, and we're all playing 17-year-olds. So we all fit into the 80s, like coming of age.
We'll just say we're all old enough to be cast as 17-year-olds in movies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah,
That's
really,
fair.
really threw off what I thought growing up would be like.
Yeah.
Really,
Right?
Really felt.
My library was not that big.
I know.
That was impressive.
I know, that was like, where's this rich ass school at?
This is actually
public school?
this
Where?
is Cornell University's AD White Library.
Well, yeah, that's a university library.
That's what I'm talking.
This is my library right here. It's,
This is my hot dog right here.
that is every house.
That is definitely a
White sheet
locker
I
that
put
I
on top
was
of a
once.
mirror.
Yeah, it's the nighttime.
That's the
set
band
of
locker size that I once,
Teen
as a
Wolf.
6th grader, almost got shoved into because I was small. But then
too?
as a 7th grader, I grew 6 inches over summer, and I pushed a kid into it.
Hey.
Right? Anyways. Rob, back to you. What would Carlos the Kid Cop like to do as shards of glass and light bulbs are just blasting everywhere?
The air ionizes inside of the cab of the car. Carlos has got his donuts. He's got his 2 Philly cheesesteaks wrapped up from the Grab and Gulp that he was going to bring home for dinner, and he's got his
There
big,
it is.
his big 32 ounce. And
That lasts them all day.
Oh,
the
gas station Philly cheesesteaks. Hell yeah.
Yeah, whereas just what are those like meat steak strips that you could get for like $1.99 at the grocery store, and you just cover?
Hey, they
He
said the
comes, that's
jalapenos
what
were
it
free,
was.
man. I can put as many on as I want.
Yeah, and just slices of Kraft cheese.
This will just sit in the front seat of the car until I get home tonight. It's going to be fine.
It's gonna hold fine. It's gonna be great.
You remember what the stomach of a 17-year-old was like?
Oh, those were days.
Indestructible.
I can't have any milk now.
Yeah. I can't have dairy.
Diabetes.
Yeah, right. All right. Yeah. So, what would you like to do, Rob?
And as the air all ionizes, he doesn't quite notice it because he gets the buzz in his pocket, and he pulls out his personal phone, and this scandalous photo is obviously going to sizzle up the school come Monday. But being what I just saw over at the school across the street a minute ago, all of this seems to be kind of my soda and my donuts all over, and the Philly cheesesteaks get coffee all over them, and I think that now the sandwich is ruined.
Give me a luck check. Let's see how that goes. I got a 6.
My luck is a total of 5. I rolled 2d6.
Hell yeah.
For a total of a 1 plus a 5, which is a 6.
Nice. So he matches, and when you match, it means you still pass, but it's not as cool as if you actually were higher than me. So you match, and yes, your sandwiches are now covered in coffee, and your donuts have smushed up and kind of sprinkled on them. But in your head, you see this, and you're like, "Oh, the ruin!" But then you look at it, going, "Well, or maybe."
So as soon as I go down to pick up the now soggy sandwiches, all the glass in the car just explodes and just happens to go right over my head.
It's just all over you.
Yeah.
There it is. What the shit was that? And you are able to successfully not get this. By the way, this scene prompt is called "Not the Face," and there's a picture of a cop with glass in her face screaming. And anyways,
Thanks for that flavor.
I was just letting you guys know what the art was. Next is actually I could share it. Boop, boop.
Oh,
Next is
thanks for that.
Yeah, well, I like to help. Next is everyone inside of the diner. You guys, we're gonna move over to you now that there's this weird electrical storm going off. And the chime of a cell phone notification echoes through the diner. Just then, the lights above you shatter and the glass explodes, sending a shower of glass and ceramic raining down upon all within chatterboxes.
Oops.
So we are going to start, since the local historian has already had an action this turn. Mr. I have it here. Sorry. Filbert. Swaddle.
Yes.
Waddlestaff.
Waddles for short.
Waddles for short. So we're going to figure out who goes first in this. Is who has the everyone tell me what your luck total is, and whoever has the lowest will start this act.
2.
A 2?
4.
A 4 for you too, Mark. Okay, and Marcus has a 4. So good old Squib.
Is that my neighbor?
Yeah. You get to start this as you notice your neighbor has walked into chatterboxes, and you can feel, because of your psychic or because of your paranormal expertise, you have trained your body to sense things before things happen. And you notice that the hair on your arm rises, and you feel a tingle as the electricity within the room starts to rise. What would you like to do right before the glasses explode, while everybody else is going to have to act as the glass is exploding?
So no one has this number.
No.
First thing I need to do is break my burner phone.
Nobody has this number. No. I just realized what you were saying. I was like, that's great. That's great.
And it's just like some crappy flip phone from Best Buy. Or I don't know what was around the 80s. Fries.
Like $400.
I was gonna say I think Gears was still the most technological. Oh, Radio Shack was the most technical. Yeah, Radio Shack.
I just take it and I snap it over my leg and I pull out a new one.
You got burned.
And then I just grab the napkin from the table and I tell I want to get the name right. I tell Astaroth, you might want to duck, and I put the napkin over my head and I crawl under the table.
Give me a luck check on breaking your phone first to make sure you were able to actually destroy it. I rolled a 2, by the way. Remember, I'm only rolling 1d6 this time.
Yeah, I did it on the.
You did it on the thing.
20. So I got a 4.
Hell yeah! You beat my 2, and you were able to successfully destroy your burner phone that you thought nobody had the number to. And
so since I succeeded, I want to take it and snap it and then throw it at the window that I know is going to shatter.
So it times just perfect.
Yeah.
Asaroth, just as your friend snaps and throws their phone perfectly and says, "You might want to duck." Glass starts to, the window before the phone even reaches it, shatters and starts to implode. What would you like to do?
The electricity and the storm invigorated me, but the shattering glass and exploding danger terrified me. So to protect myself, I will open forth my list of bat motif parasol.
Your indestructible parasol that you've been using this whole time in the rain to smoke your cloves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love a parasol that you can use in the rain because let's be real, none of them stop rain.
None of them stop rain. So that's what I'll be doing, and like crouching, completely like bundling up into it.
Okay. Give me a luck check, please.
Sure.
I rolled a 3. And you got...
I rolled a 1.
So our first wound of the night. So as you go to pull open your parasol,
turns out lace parasols don't protect against flying glass.
Weird, right?
That only works in
glass
cartoons.
goes shooting through it. And actually, I'm going to say that's the name of your damage is glass beats parasol damage, and you take 1 wound. Give me a vulnerability check to see how bad this wound actually is.
Okay.
I rolled a 3 again, so.
There's a 5.
So in vulnerability, you want to roll lower than me. So you didn't.
Yeah.
So at this point, you're still holding up your parasol as if something is going to eventually work, and it's torn to shreds, everything. Your body is just cut to shit as glass is coming through. And you take another wound of, I'm pretty sure this is going to work out for me, damage.
Yeah.
And now on to resilience. How would you like to try to better the situation? Resilience is where you're trying to, if you beat me by rolling equal to or higher, you get to heal one of the wounds you just suffered.
Gotcha.
Because you bettered the situation. So how do you want to better this situation?
Right. Well, Astroth is flopping around as the glass is hitting the like machine gun fire, and just laces flying everywhere. Just top hat comes blasting off, and I don't necessarily duck as much as my body flops into the vinyl chair and slithers like a piece of salmon underneath the stool by Perry.
So you basically just fall to the floor and start flopping and flopping, trying to find some cover, and you finally get to it.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. So your scene ends there with you flopping on the ground, getting to cover, and then we come back over.
Oh, did you want me to roll resilience or no? We don't.
Oh, yes, resilience. I'm sorry, I forgot to finish that off. I got a 4.
Cool. I got
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I got a 6 on that one.
So with your 6, you're able to actually flop to safety and get underneath the table before your body's shredded even more.
Yeah.
So you're able to heal back one of those wounds you just took.
Nice.
Also,
it's because I'm underneath the table and I'm putting up tinfoil along the bottom side of it.
This way the
Good.
aliens
You got
can't
the
hear our
safe zone.
thoughts.
This tinfoil duct tape roll.
Always prepared. He's like those stage guys that always have like the roll of duct
He's
tape
got
like
the
just
gaffer
hanging
tape.
from yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a 17-year-old version of that. Like, I am
Also-
a roadie larva.
AV guy.
Yeah, the AV
You
guy.
get that equipment back to the high school. That's why I'm watching it right now.
Also, speaking of wounds, now that we had our first wound of the game, you'll notice that your character sheet only has 5. That's because everybody always only has 5 damage that they can take, 5 wounds that they can take. If at the end of your turn you ever have 5 hit point or 5 damage, your character is out of the game. Doesn't mean dead. It just means that something so bad happens that they're out of the game, whether it's they move out of town or they're so embarrassed they can't show their faces anymore. But if you go out early, like let's say, so I've actually had people go out at the end of an act 1 and there's 3 acts in the game. If you go out early, but you can argue a good way to bring your character back, then you're able to make a dramatic comeback and come back into the game with 1 hit point. So just keep that in mind as we go through the game for storytelling purposes. So now we're going to come back, and this is going to be the second scene to Filbert. You are, like, once again, you're in this whole mess that everybody else is dealing with
Dear.
with this glass going off everywhere. What would you like to do as glass and ceramics are just blowing up all around?
This is quite unfortunate. I'm going to...
Think of a Denny's in the 80s just exploding.
I'm going to attempt to... Well, I guess I'm not very fast, but I'm going to try and get behind that entry table and put it down like a barricade against the glass.
Okay.
And
Once again, you guys do have control of your pawns, so if you'd like to move them to wherever you think is...
I don't have control.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, Filbert. This is not your turn. I'm sorry, it's Nikki 7. Nikki 7 hasn't had a turn yet.
Oh, yes, that's true.
I
Nikki
just
7...
disappeared myself.
I'll bring you back, don't worry.
I phase out of existence.
That's a great
Because it's the 80s.
Because the
way.
80s.
And he's small again.
He's tiny, man.
I know. I have to so I didn't realize how small things would be on these maps when I did the tokens. So I have to make them bigger. Sorry. All right. So it's Nikki 7 up in the top right corner. You're working behind the bar top counter, where like the kitchen is basically, but you just serve people at the top. You're not working any tables and whatnot.
Right, I'm just
this is like it's your favorite spot to work, because let's be real.
By the cash
Best place
register.
to work is the bar top.
Right. I'm probably consoling the victim's BFF, whatever.
Oh
the
yeah,
problem
victims
is.
BFF. I put out all the tokens that start in all these areas so everyone can see them. And the victims BFF is probably another one of my favorite character classes in this. Glad none of you guys got it though, because she's a bitch to work with.
Oh, good. Well, she can take cover when the glass comes, right? Behind the counter. So I imagine
NPCs will take care of themselves, or unless you want to save them. Yeah.
So if I want to sort of stealth around, so I can kind of make myself socially invisible.
Yep.
How would I do that?
You can just keep your character where you are and just say during the chaos. I mean, to be completely honest, nobody really knows that you're over there yet, because none of the active character classes are over there.
All right, yeah, I'll work my way to the back of the kind of counter to the other side, close to
You
the
go
kitchen.
you go into the back with the cooks and everything. Give me a luck check to see how that goes.
All right, and she gets 2d6 because she's lucky.
That's right. Your luck can be even if it's a 3 is a 5.
I got a 4 and a 10. I got a 10.
Nice. I only got a 3, so you definitely get back there. How would you like your scene to end positively?
I'll end by just looking and seeing who the cooks are, who's back there, and I'll kind of give them a glaring, commanding look, You all better get the hell out of here because something's coming down. And
All right. Actually, stop right there because I have a great idea for your second scene.
all right.
Because of that command. So now we're going to go over to Filbert Waddlestaff, and this is your second scene out of the 3 to accomplish your objective or do whatever you'd like in this scene or in this act. So glass is breaking everywhere. People are dodging. What would you like to do? You said you wanted to move.
Well, first I'm going to say hi to my old friend Betsy, who is the first victim's parent, and say, "Get down, Betsy!" And I'm going to try and get behind the table after having said hi to an old friend.
Okay. Give me a luck check, please. I got a 4.
I got a 7.
Nice. So you not only say hi to your old friend Betsy, but you're able to grab her and pull her under the table with you. And how would you like to finish out your scene successfully?
I'm going to say, "Ooh, peppermints." And I'm going to munch on the peppermints that fell out of the bowl when I knocked over the table and try to make the best of the situation.
Time out. Thank you so much for zooming in on the artwork enough to notice that I actually drew peppermints in that on that damn table. If you move your character, you will see.
No.
Nice.
I'm just saying that was that. I appreciate that. I put that little detail in, and I was like, nobody's gonna fucking know.
Oh, I knew.
Oh, thank you. All right, so
I'm also gonna stare longingly at Astaroth, hoping he's okay as he's bloody and bleeding under the table with my neighbor.
That's fair. You're just like, that fucking neighbor of yours, always the worst.
Right.
But Astaroth is like rubbing himself with
my vitae.
It's doing it for me.
Right. It's doing it for me. Going back over to the gas and gulp where Carlos, the kid deputy, is.
Kid cop.
Kid cop. Carlos, you notice how considerably dark it's gotten outside. Looking up, the overcast morning skies have changed into an ominous thick storm of clouds that begin to spin and form a funnel directly over the high school. You squint tightly, staring your eyes to try your best to locate the cause of this storm. That's when you see it, the source. Then there's a giant flash of light and bang. Lightning starts to strike all around the ground. It's not just glass now, but there's lightning just striking the ground wherever. What would you like to do, Carlos?
I remember that 4 rubber tires should protect me.
You remember your training.
I remember my training from Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Best training you can get.
And honestly, your timeline's so wild, I have no idea what kind of car I actually
Imagine, like, I always imagine, like, the way I drew it in the adventure. Let me see if I can actually share the artwork. I don't know if I actually. Oh yeah, I did. If you look at this artwork of the truck you're sitting at, it's kind of like an old school like Ford Bronco. Like,
all right, I can dig that.
I was watching a lot of Twin Peaks while I was doing the art for this.
Are there any other people at the gas station?
The only other person at the gas station is Bill, who is the gas station attendant, who's the token that's inside the building. It looks like he's on the roof, but that means he's inside.
With my childlike mind and my heroic flaw, I brazenly jump out of my Bronco, running inside.
What?
Bill's in there. Bill, grab all the churros. Grab a couple of those Philly cheesesteaks and let's get out of here, man.
Well, we're going to stop you at heroically running to inside and give me a luck check to see if that happens. Well, you probably does because I rolled a 1.
Rolling 2d6, I got a 5.
You heroically, you do the Van Damme run where your hands are vertical and you're running so fast that lightning can't strike you. and you get in, and if you want to move your token into next to Bill, you have Bill in your arms, and he's like, hot dang, let's grab them churros. And that's where your second scene ends. Nice. Oh, I love it. I love it. Moving back into chatterboxes. It's the same thing going on now for all of you, as the glass and everything is quieted down, but now there is this lightning that's just striking everywhere. Even the building you're in, even through the ceiling of the building. And once again, starting with we'll go with starting with the squib. You still have the lowest luck, so you get to go.
All right. Squib is gonna look at his flopping friend and say, all right, first things first, we need reconnaissance.
Obviously.
I need to get out to my van and possibly back into the AV club.
Son of a bitch, they're pulling me back.
Is this your phone? Who has this number? Astaroth, who has this number?
Just like a few of my closest friends.
You can't trust anyone, and I break it.
But no, I can't.
Azeroth, do you want to keep your phone?
But we play by text. Oh no.
Azeroth, you can stop that if you want to keep your phone, and it would be a player versus player roll. Or you can let you can continue. You can let
no, I would. I have terrible lung capacity, and one of them is probably punctured now.
That's
so
true.
I'm not gonna risk using much oxygen to try to grab the phone.
All right. So Squib, what would you like to continue doing with your turn? Because
I say, but wait, what's that behind your ear? And I pull a burner phone out and I hand it to him. Let's go.
Yeah.
You pay me $5 later.
Squib, give me a luck check against me. Or actually, no, I'm gonna have this be a player versus player roll because I love doing these. So Squib and Astaroth, roll your luck against each other.
Oof, that's gonna be easy to beat.
What'd you get? I didn't see it yet.
It's in the.
It's a 1. Astaroth, what'd you get?
A 5.
So Astaroth, according to the rules in the Collateral damage rule book, when players roll against each other, the active player, if they lose, they still take a wound. And Astaroth, you get to describe how I'll continue taking over the roles from here for vulnerability and resilience, but you get to describe how you bested them in this roll-off. So are you that happy about this burner phone? That is what you won. You won the decision on if you're happy about the burner roll.
Yeah, no, he just would look at it, look at the shattered pieces of my phone and be like, and then it's just like one single black painted thumbnail flips the phone, and he sees that it's a flip phone. He's like,
the T9 text.
Yeah. And the reception on it is terrible. No one's gonna be able to get to you.
Perry, the Squib, you take 1 point of outdated technology damage.
Okay.
And we're gonna move on to your vulnerability. Give me so
I take 1 damage now.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And now you're gonna roll against me for your vulnerability, which is whatever your vulnerability die is. I roll 1d6. I got a 6, so you should be able to beat that.
Yeah, no, I only have a d6, so I have a 3.
You rolled a 3, so you beat me in vulnerability, meaning that you don't notice the disappointment in your friend's like voice or eyes or anything, and you're just like, okay, I am doing great right now.
There's
So
really
I
not
did you
much
such a
change in that
favor.
voice.
yeah,
That, and
So
so,
it's
like,
it's resilience now. So you have to do a
Okay.
resilience check. So what's the best case scenario for you in this? Like, how would you like to see this work out?
best case scenario, no one's able to track my friend. Like
All right.
they're free.
I rolled a 1, so
that's
go
not,
ahead.
That's not even like them. Like that's
Yeah.
me. It can only be traced back to me.
Only be traced back to me. Did you roll a 10?
Yeah, I have 2d6.
Nice.
on
So
that,
you heal back that 1 point of outdated technology wound, as you were like, I am protecting my friend right now. Everything's great that I'm doing, and you don't even realize that you just destroyed somebody's like $500 phone. Because who knows what timeline it is.
Correct.
So
I was able to get that cool little pop-up phone that everyone was wanting after the
clay
Matrix
the
was
side-
out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that one's rad. All right, so it is Astaroth.
80s timeline. 2080s.
The 80s.
Hey, it's the 80s.
So Astaroth, it is your turn. 80.
Remember when we had a black president in the 80s?
Remember when we had smartphones and flip phones and cell phones in general?
Guys, Tamagotchi.
You know what I remember from the 80s?
Mm.
Being able to stay out and my parents not knowing where the hell I was.
Yes. Here's to that.
Woo!
That's
And I
today
was-
as
I'm
well.
that
We
stuff.
raised ourselves, an entire
You
generation.
guys
You
can
totally
check it
did.
on.
That's also today.
It's just that the parents can text and all that. It doesn't mean
I see.
the child is
That's
getting
what
back
you're
to them.
saying.
Yeah, it is weird. I have texted my parents from a bar, and that's not something I ever thought I'd ever do.
Mhm, mhm.
Oh, me and my parents, the minute I hit 21, became like drinking buddies. Like our relationship went from parent to and child
To
to
codependent.
yeah. We're just like, dude, let's get drunk and have fun and talk and like
Yeah.
it's great times.
I
Great
have adult
times.
sons myself, and it's fun to be able to drink with them, smoke weed with them. You know, it's nice we can do that now.
The last time my parents were up in Seattle, they live in Arizona where I'm originally from. And I got them to go to their first pot shop and I went to a weed store. My siblings called me, or like, what the fuck was that like? Because like, you went to a weed store with mom and dad and you got high with them. I was like, yeah, it was weird. The whole time I was high. Me and my wife leave our pipes and shit everywhere. And like, they came into the apartment this time and we told ourselves, we're not going to hide it this time. The whole time I was nervous. I was like, fuck, they're going to ground me. I'm not going to be able to do nothing. I'm like 40. I should be able to not be grounded.
I have to run a
Anyways.
session tonight.
Right? I got to do stuff. I got work.
My friends and I have been playing this campaign for months, Mom.
Can't stop us. We're at the dragon's lair. All right. So next up would be Astaroth.
I begrudgingly accept this phone. And
Begrudgingly. I like that.
Action packed.
Action packed.
hey, it's the 80s.
The 80s.
I grab I say to Squib, I was like, does it feel natural or supernatural to you?
Dude, everything is supernatural.
I thought, and I crawl out from underneath the thing, from underneath the table. I point towards Nikki. I said, "This is your doing, daughter of Hecate!" And I run outside. I kind of skip outside. I don't run.
Right. You kind
I
of
saunter outside. and I'm waiting. I see the lightning running down, and I say, "Man, I bind you to me," and I hold my arms up,
This is
just
The
like that
Craft.
hot
We
new
are
'80s
watching it.
movie I saw, The Craft,
Yeah.
with that '80s actress Fairuza Balk.
Right. Just like because it's the 80s.
And I say, I bind you, Salem's Lot.
Blair Witch, I bind you. Oh, don't do that.
No,
'cause
wait,
that's
don't
Blair.
do that.
That's Blair.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
All right, so
She's been having a really hard time of it lately. She just needs a week.
She needs a full. Yeah, we cut to inside the library. She's just yelling at Michael Myers, just throwing a tantrum as all this lightning is coming out.
all right, so I need
I bind you, Candyman.
because it's the 80s.
Yeah, and I try to. And because I'm ambitious, I'm going to try ride the lightning.
All right, so we're actually going to go back a minute to where you said you yelled
Yeah,
at-
the entire role depend on me crawling out from underneath a diner
No, the
bench.
entire role is going to depend on you and your comment to Nikki 7.
Oh.
You did this, you witch!
Oh.
So both of you, so you guys give me a luck off against each other. So both of you are going to roll luck.
All right, I got two dice.
Off.
Ooh, luck off.
Oh, here we're gonna go.
I have one die.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I got a 4.
Oh!
It's
And
a 5, right?
got- It's a. Oh, right? 5?
Oh, is that your 5 up there? Okay, cool.
Oh no, 6.
No, and I got a 6.
Yeah, you
Oh,
beat
you
me.
got a 6. Okay. So you do. So as you're running out, you say, "This is your fault, witch." And Nikki, you're kind of like, "Huh?" Like for sure. And Marcus, I'm sorry, Astaroth, you're able to make it out of the like. You get to finish this scene as like you said. You run
Okay.
outdoors and yell out to the lightning.
Yeah,
I bind you.
I bind you, man on man. I bind you, Pumpkinhead. Wait, no, not Pumpkinhead.
Ed is
He's
in
just a
high school.
classmate.
You don't want to bind him.
I bind you, weird clown from Poltergeist, clown doll.
Yeah, it's basically you're calling to the goddesses of the north, south, east, and west, and you're like,
Yeah.
I want your power.
I want your power.
And during all of that, Nikki is just running this like slow motion eye roll, just like just this slow motion sigh as just time slows down, and every word that Astaroth said is just like a needle in her side.
So I was gonna say, Nikki, it is actually your turn.
All right, yeah, she's
And-
like, what's
Yeah.
going on in the kitchen?
What would you like to do with your turn as lightning is now striking through the ceilings of chatterboxes,
And I just
and Astaroth just broke
I
your
just
heart,
shamed
calling
you,
you a witch.
gaslit you
Yeah,
Well,
right.
because I'm a male actor in the '80s.
Well, he's blowing my cover too. We're not supposed to talk about this. So she's
I mean,
Right.
first rule of Witch Club
yeah,
is
Witch
don't
Club
talk
is-
about Witch
yeah.
Club.
Don't
So-
talk about Witch Club.
she's gonna look for a cleaver or some kind of tool or implement from the kitchen,
All right.
and rubber gloves.
Well,
By the
once again, rubber. You guys both watched the same Bill Nye episode.
yes, I mean she's a good student. Come on,
I mean, that's fair.
you can't
Just
be a
because
good
she's a
witch.
babysitter doesn't mean she doesn't get straight A's.
No, she's got lots of free time to do homework. She just puts a little charm on the kids, and they're cool for the rest of the night. It works perfectly. So she'll tool up.
All right.
And is there a way to maybe, I don't know if there's a way to look for where the exit might be, but she'll angle that way if she needs to.
Give me a luck check to find the exit. I got a 4.
All right, I have a good chance of beating that if I don't roll as bad
Right
as
with your
last
2
time.
D6s.
A 9. Got a 9.
Nice. So it's not your first week at work. You definitely have worked here enough to know that the
No.
fire exit is, or there is an exit out of the kitchen, as well as a fire and exit out of the manager's office. So you have two choices on getting out of this place. How would you like to end your scene on a positive?
I will poke my head out from behind the kitchen, and I look at everyone in the restaurant, and I say, "Come with me if you want to live." And then just turn
God
around.
damn
and
it! And you just run away like.
And that's it.
That's awesome. You just, yeah, all right. That's a great. So then going to the third and final scene of good old Filbert Waddlestaff. You hear the babysitter from the kitchen. You get to hear Nikki Seven, which you don't know because you guys have no relationship. But you just hear this young woman from the kitchen go, "Follow me if you want to laugh," and just run away. What would you like to do as lightning is shining and sparking and there's like, fire starting?
I will say, "No, follow me. I know lightning doesn't hit you if you run. I've seen it." And I'm going to
That's fair.
run as fast as I can out the front door.
Give me a luck check. I rolled a 1. You're gonna be fine.
I rolled a 4.
You to everybody that is watching, it appears that Filbert Waddlestaff is on to something, because as he zigs and zags out of the restaurant, the lightning misses him constantly. So you're like, maybe this running thing, it's got something to it.
I mean, the lightning hits trees, and trees stand still. So
you gotta move.
It's science.
It's just science.
Bill.
This needs to be on Bill Nye next.
Mm-hmm. Bill.
It's supposed to be my show. Waddlestaff Hour.
You competed with Bill Nye to get the goddamn special, and you lost. So you make it outside for your final scene as lightning is striking everywhere, and we move back over quickly to the gas and gulp. As inside of the gas and gulp, Carlos, this is your last scene, and Carlos, the kid cop, has successfully protected and saved. I can move him for you if you want. Bill, the gas attendant, or is attempting to save Bill, the gas attendant. And lightning starts to strike, and you notice as you're inside saving Bill that there's a very familiar smell, and it smells like smoke. And when you look out of one of the now no longer glass covered windows, you see that the gas pumps are on fire. What would you like to do? No, and I'm going to give you control of the other dude if you want to take him along with you, because Bill is up to you.
Recognizing that the gas pump will go up soon, I grab Bill and I say, "Where do you keep the beer in the back?" And we run to the walk-in freezer and ride out the explosion.
Sounds good. Give me a luck roll. I got a 5.
I got 2d6.
Nice.
Better. 5.
Nice. So you're able to make it to the back deep cooler just as the pumps explode, and fire that you kind of can feel as you're closing the door. You feel the burst, and you guys fly back, and you guys are safe within the ice cooler. as the gas pumps have exploded, how would is that just how you would like to end your scene on a positive, or what else would you like to add?
A couple of Hungry Man frozen Salisbury steak dinners fall down on me, as well as a couple of PBRs.
Yeah.
Loose. And I crack open that PBR and I throw one over to Bill and I says, "Looks like we've earned these today."
Wait, are you 17?
It's the 80s.
It's the 80s, guys.
You were allowed to drink back then, right?
Bill throws me a cigarette, ironically.
We got into so many hijinks.
I guess it doesn't matter if we smoke here anymore, right?
Bill's like just pouring cocaine out on his cigarette going, yeah, it's the 80s. You want some?
Guess we can take grandma's pills if we like.
I got my grandma's arthritis pills. It makes me feel great. So moving back to cheddar boxes. We now have the third and final act of Perry the Squib. What would you like to do, as you have now broken your friend's phone, yet saved their life to you, and they have run outside?
All right, that's good. We should all go in the same direction. I need to get to my van for my surveillance equipment. So I'm going to wad up a ball of tinfoil and chuck it out to distract the lightning and draw the fire away.
Right.
I'm just gonna get up and walk out this window since the glass is already broken.
There you go.
Because I'm gonna say my car is parked like right there. Like I demanded to be seated like near where I could see my car.
You don't trust parking lots. You only park on the street. Parking lots are where they infuse your car with tracking mechanisms that will follow you later, and then record everything.
Aliens only show up in wide open spaces. That's where they can land. You're only safe in alleys from aliens.
That's fair. So I go ahead and give me a luck roll getting out to your van. I rolled a 3.
3.
So you don't leap out and get out there awesomely or anything cool. You stumble, fall on your face, and then roll over on your ass outside the window, and then crawl into your van as lightning's kind of striking.
And I landed on my tinfoil.
You did. Your tinfoil did nothing. But you were able to successfully get into the van. How do you want your scene to end outside of just getting into your van?
So I shotgun a PBR,
Everyone
crush
drinking
it,
their
and I
PBR.
lift up the fabric on top of my on the roof of my car, and I slide another can in there because I've been building like a thing of armor above me.
I see.
And
Something you can call back to.
And if I can, I want to speed around to the front.
Yep.
And open up the door and tell these two, like, get in, we're getting a witch.
All right. So then with that, it comes
It's already hotboxed.
Oh yeah, the minute you open the window to yell at them, the smoke was already like billowing out.
It comes pre-hotboxed.
Yeah. The minute you turn it on, it's just already full of smokes.
You know, some days I think this is car exhaust, and then I tell myself, Perry, you're being paranoid.
All right, Astaroth, what would you like to do with your last scene?
I scream out for this energy. I want this energy. So, and I realize, it's because this van came up and I need to get higher, so I'm climbing on top of Perry's van, and then I'm gonna take the remnants of my parasol, frantically ripping the lace from it to expose the metal, and I'm holding it up into the naked sky, into the throat of Thor itself. Because and then I do yell down at Perry. I said, I just need to get to work. I think the lightning is faster. But if you could drive, I can surf on top of the van like Styles did in that 80s movie Teen Wolf.
And then we can go fast once I'm struck by lightning, like the Flash from the 80s.
Somebody doesn't die from being struck by lightning, right? Perry?
Nobody.
Not if you have the right chemicals in the vicinity.
He's just writing down, like in his notebook, Flash confirmed.
Astaroth, roll luck to see how that lightning rod of yours goes. I got a 4.
Oh, well. All right.
Oh, well.
Then I think, what is my luck? That shouldn't be too bad.
Hey!
4 and 4.
The lightning, as you call up, and you sound really cool. Like, to you, it sounds like you're in Highlander calling down there, like, there could only be one, and you're ready to be struck by lightning and, like, absorb its energy. But what happens is, the skies above start to calm, and the dark starts to lighten, and you're looking around like, what the hell? What the hell?
I scream out, Thor! Why have you abandoned your son?
And at that time, like,
Not that.
at that time,
I'm completely
the
mixing.
swing starts to try to drive away.
It just floats away.
He's trying to drive away with you on top, and you're just like trying to hold on as you're yelling at
Right, because I'm like in the agonized kneeling pose, and then I flop and roll towards the end of the van. I'm trying to catch myself.
Luckily, it's covered in duct tape.
So much duct tape. It's like one of those great Velcro things you bounce into and just stick to, and you're like, I'm here.
Except it's a solid car.
Still hurts. All right, Nikki 7. You have called out. You've saved the cooking staff. What would you like to do with your last scene?
I'm going to go around to the front and try to get around to my friend Astaroth, or Pete.
Okay.
I wouldn't call him Astaroth yet. He's not really a full-on, warlock, but Pete, or Petey.
Pete.
So she'll come around and...
Petey.
Petey.
Yeah,
You
Petey.
totally call him Petey.
So she'll come around the side kind of alley after going around out the back. If there's a roll for her to, like, grab some money out of the register kind of on the way out, that would be...
Oh, yeah, that's definitely going to be a luck roll.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
I rolled
'cause-
a 3.
Oh, cool.
But I like that idea.
It's kind of
That's
in
definitely-
her wheelhouse. So I got an 8.
Oh, yeah. How much money did you steal from
Just the
the
20s.
register?
Just the 20s.
Just the 20s.
Yeah.
You run out of there with $260
All right.
in
Nice.
20s. Because it's
Sweet.
the 80s, and
Yeah.
nobody
There's no
was back.
surveillance. And the
Yeah.
electricity's
No
going to
credit
knock it
cards.
out if there was.
Yes.
So,
Electricity's gone.
This place gets robbed all the time.
God, Chatterboxes is like riddled in just like theft constantly.
I believe it. It has nothing to do with me. Shrinkage is my middle
I
name.
say that with like a deep fryer in my van.
This is robbed constantly as you're making French fries and pancakes on your flat grill.
So she'll
You
come
know I was
around.
fired from this place.
Nobody gets fired from this place.
You leave of your own accord.
Yes.
With some stuff.
So she runs around and sees him with the car and everything, and so what the hell are you doing, Petey? And then she'll like wave and kind of come around the other side, and tell him to kind of wait, and then she won't run any faster.
Right.
She'll just walk like the way she wants
Wait,
to walk,
and then quick
Wait.
walk.
Yeah,
And
you're
then
like,
she's
just
like
wait.
sauntering over there, and kind of
Give me
fixing
a-
her.
Nikki and Astaroth roll luck against each other as Nikki, you're like, wait, and you just slowly walk over.
No, I'm late
Oh
for
no!
work.
I got a 9.
Oh god.
Yep, I think Petey's gonna wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make them wait. Tell them to wait.
Petey yells inside to the squib, going, "Stop the van!"
That's it. That's the witch.
I told you. I told you.
And just as
That's exactly
Nikki,
how I pictured it.
just like the dream. And just as Nikki steps in front of your van, or Petey steps in front of your van to stop it, or falls rather from being on top of it, rolled off, and then stood in front of it. That's when you guys can hear the sirens of help and fire trucks as you realize across the street there was a giant explosion of the gas station blowing up.
Oh yeah.
And that's
Was
the
there a
end
gas station there?
There was a gas. Yeah, you're like, wasn't there gas there? I need to fill up. And that's the end of Act 1 of Death Fist Club. If everybody could please remind me of what your objectives were, and I will tell you if you got a bonus from it. Starting with Mr. Carlos the Kid Cop.
Don't forget to get dinner.
You got it. You got those hungry boys in that 6-pack that you're drinking right now. So you get 3 +1s that you can add to your stats. You can add them any way you'd like. I usually say you should add them to luck and resilience because nobody wants their vulnerability high. That's kind of a penalty. So you have 3 +1s that you can put either all 3 into one stat or divide it up how you'd like.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Next up would be Astaroth Bloodwine, aka Petey.
Yeah, I was trying to get to work, but I
did
was
not
not struck by lightning.
So you're going to take a +1 to your vulnerability,
Okay.
making it higher and possibly more treacherous. Next up will be Jeff, aka Filbert Waddlestaff. Can never remember. I always want to say Swaddlestaff, but it's Waddlestaff. So what was your objective, Mr.
Well,
Waddlestaff?
it was to meet up with an old friend, and obviously I was friends with the victim's mother, Betsy.
You not only met up but saved, so you do get 3 +1s as well.
Hey.
And then it is Nikki 7.
She was supposed to get injured or attacked and then not get hurt by the attack in some way. I don't know if she has to get injured, but there has to be an attack that she manages to take on, and I don't think anything like that.
Put yourself in danger without taking damage. Yeah.
And I don't think she really put herself in danger.
No, unfortunately, you were a very good babysitter and took care of the children of the kitchen and got them out right away while also getting paid like a good babysitter.
I did the klepto thing, right? You know.
Right. So you're going to get a +1 to your vulnerability.
Okay.
Well, if Nikki had been caught trying to steal in front of me, with the locket being stolen and my heart being broken, she could have gotten in some real danger.
Nice. Next up is gonna be Perry, aka the Squib.
All right. So my objective was don't take any damage.
Right.
Now, I did take damage, but I healed from it.
Right.
Therefore, I still have 5 hearts. And, when the wound's gone, you're no longer wounded.
Technically, in my game, you still took damage.
Yeah.
You were supposed
that
to.
That doesn't track to me, though, because I'm looking at my character sheet. Like, go ahead and bring it up.
Bringing it up now.
If you look at my character sheet, you'll see that I have 5 hearts and none of them have an X through it. So I don't really see where you're coming from with this. I took damage.
It's called healing.
It's called healing.
And once something is healed, it never happened.
Look at
Right.
Carlos's heart. Come on
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's be real. Let's be real.
That's
All right, all right. So
That's how
a
healing-
+1 to
that's how healing
vulnerability.
Yeah, so that's a
Keep
plus
it in a
one
locket for a few
vulnerability. That's
years.
what healing does.
D&D
You
magic.
took
In
the
the
damage.
80s.
No scarf. No scarf.
It's the 80s.
It is
This is how
That's-
healing works.
That's how healing worked in the 80s.
This is
I
in
missed it
2020
because
healing.
I was just so much more spry then.
Remember, we did say earlier, Rob brought up, you remember what your 17-year-old gut could hold.
Uh-huh,
Eat anything back then.
All right, I still haven't gone up a dice size, so I'll be all right.
All right, perfect.
To be fair, I've seen
Um,
Marcus's 47-year-old gut, and it can handle quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I can still eat a lot of weird shit that I shouldn't put in my body. But all right. So it is now Act 2. Before I do anything, I need you all to give me one more D10 roll. And this is going to be your objective for Act 2. This is still the same 24 hours. It's just now you have a new objective. So.
Can I keep the old one?
No, you cannot. For Marcus, Astaroth needs to find a bright side to the situation.
Oh no, that wasn't my 4. That's
Oh, that's not your 4. Oh, I'm sorry. So, anyways, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Nikki needs to find the bright side of the situation.
Oh, okay.
That's your objective.
All right.
The Squib needs to ruin another player's chances of completing their objective.
I should have been
And
paying attention.
yeah, and then Mr. Waddlestaff, what was your role?
8.
An 8. You need to aid the elderly.
But I am the elderly.
If you can argue that at the end of this act, then yes, you will achieve it. Astaroth, what was your actual role then?
the 6.
It was a 6. You need to gain employment. Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Shit.
You
You
just
have
lost
a
your job,
but
man.
you didn't make it. You didn't make it to
Yeah,
work.
be the one
and
I-
you got
they're like,
fired.
yeah, we've been
again.
trying to call you, and
Your phone's been apparently
Your
broken.
phone's just- I'm getting this recording
Oh God,
that
I've already
says
completed my task.
phone
Yeah,
has
you
been
were-
snapped in 2.
If it works out that way, I think that would be a funny ass way to make it
Yeah.
work. And then good old Carlos the Kid Cop. Carlos got one.
I rolled a 9 in my physical dice, though.
Okay. You need to gain any amount of income. Any amount. It could be anything from a penny to like a full salary to you rob somebody. Before we start this act, I do need to ask for another $5. I did break the seal, and now I need to use the restroom
Alright.
again.
All right, sounds good.
Also, so we'll take a break, and then yeah, we'll be right back.
All right, take 5, everyone.
All
We'll be
right.
back in 5. I'll see you at 9:50.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We were just chatting about stuff about
Howdy.
this game.
We were just talking about you.
And that was my last case of arson. Oh, sorry.
So the easiest way to get rid of syphilis is
Fire.
So what we were talking about was Collateral Damage, the game that we're playing, and I was just telling them that Collateral Damage, the main rule book, for some of the followers out there of my game and some of the players of my game or Kickstarter backers or whatever, you know it as you tend to play one-shot scenarios, much like games like Fiasco or Marcus, help me. Is there any other one-shots? Fiasco is one of the biggest one-shots I know, because you play
Any powered by the apocalypse game that you play with Marcus ever?
Yeah, right. Oh, that's right. We used to play Monster of the Week, and it was like weekly one-shots. Like we'd play an episode, and that would be that week, and it was great. So yeah, one-shots are literally game sessions where you play it in one session, and that's a contained story. For those of you who don't know what a one-shot is, it's a contained story. And Collateral Damage, most game sessions are a contained story. But I am completing the second rule book of Collateral Damage, which I'm hoping to run a Kickstarter again for, like I did this one. And it contains campaign rules. There's experience points that players could gain. And I just recently kind of made up the mechanisms and the mechanics of it. But from my solo game plays, like figuring out if this would be like balanced and how it would work, seems like it's going well. The concept mainly is that you, as a group, story master and players, you'll choose which setting you want to play in, which with the second book, that would be 10 different settings, with 90 different character options. Not trying to brag, but but there'll be 10 different settings that you could play in, and the players get to choose their characters versus rolling their characters. And then you use your experience points to influence your character as you play through. Rather than rolling your stats, you have static stats that you get to choose. And then before a game, if you have experience points, you can raise or lower stats as you want. You could change your mentality. You can change your flaw. You could change your character class even. You could use your experience points to change relationships. And I'm right now workshopping using your experience points to alter dice rolls or things like that. So anyways, that was my spiel about the next book. It's got a lot of content.
Right on.
It's got a
That
lot of
sounds
content.
cool. Where should we look for it?
What's that?
Where should we look for it, and how can we support?
You can support Collateral Damage by purchasing it either for a PDF or as a PDF on DriveThruRPG, Collateral Damage, or you can buy a physical copy of the book, which is what I'm reading from in this game, which you can get from clericgames.com and go to the Collateral Damage page on there, and it's a shop. Those are my friends who supported and produced the book for me, basically giving me the funds to make sure that I could get onto Kickstarter and get the printing funds. They gave me enough money to finish it out and then get it onto Kickstarter. And then you can also now support, as of this month last month on Roll20, which is what we're playing on, and the map and tokens in this game are all available on Roll20. You can buy the rules on Roll20, or you can buy the adventures by themselves. If you already own the rule book, you don't have to buy the rules. You can buy the adventures by themselves to get the art assets and the battle maps. You can also, if you want, there are 45 character classes in the base rule book, and I made tokens of all of them that you can buy on there to use for your Collateral Damage games. as well, free of charge with any free account. You can use the collateral damage character sheets. I am now available as a free character sheet that people can use if they're running collateral damage games. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
That's pretty neat.
Right? I'm pretty stoked, especially once again, like being a small little like game and being able to be like, oh yeah, I'm here. Oh yeah, I'm here. Makes me feel pretty cool. But also having the encouragement and love of all of my friends that support it and game it, because I love my nerd friends.
Yay!
Yay! Also, there was one thing that we talked about off camera that I said that I had forgot to mention. Is I keep talking about my my friends who invested in the game to help me make it, but I forgot to mention my friend Lo, who's the editor of it. And she did a fantastic job of making my nonsense look like a rule book. It's the reason that this rule book actually reads like a rule book of a role-playing game and not just like the scatterings of an artist who decided to write something. So all right, so on that note, we are going into Act 2 of the Death Fist Club. So before each act, all of you need to roll a d10 and get your objectives, which we did earlier. And oh yeah, we did that before we got off camera. So you guys all got your I had to remind myself. You guys all got your objectives, and it's the start of Act 2 where let me give you guys a little recap of what's actually your environment. Glass is shattered. The chatterbox is like not in ruins. It's got some lightning damage to it, some like small fire damage. But across the street, the gas and gulp is in ruins and in flame, as it was its gas tanks had exploded. Whereas as everything was calming down and some of you were able to get like a glimpse of like what was going on, you noticed that it almost seemed like Blair, the popular girl that has detention today, and whose boyfriend was shown on social media making out with someone else. Mikey, yeah. Mike, her boyfriend was making out with another lady.
Isn't it weird that they all wear masks?
I mean,
we're not kink shaming here.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's the 80s.
It's the 80s.
Wait a minute.
Is it? So it almost seems like Blair has descended from the sky and has like stepped on the grass and crying running into school. You can't be for sure because none of you were actually paying attention to the high school after everything was going on, but that's what you're kind of assuming. At this point, firefighters and EMTs are on the scene, and let me show you what that looks like and where your characters are. This is the outside of the, let me zoom in. You have to zoom in on this because the streets are actually, the street map is supposed to be larger than the indoor maps as you're outside. I'm giving you guys control of your tokens now. And we got the Squib and Astaroth sitting up here. I believe I just gave you all, oh no, I didn't give the babysitter. And then we have Nikki right here. We have Filbert, Waddle staff down here by the high school. And then we have Carlos, the cop, next to the sheriff of the town, aka Sheriff Brackish. Let me give you guys the blurb of the setting to let you know kind of like what's going on. or kind of give you like an immersion aspect of it. The skies are still gray, but the storm has ended. You hear the sirens before you see the red flashing lights of the fire trucks and the ambulances that are rushing your way. Help. That is all you can think, and it brings a small smile to your face. The fire trucks screech to a halt and immediately start the process of putting out the gas fire. You call out to the EMTs as they rush out to the out of their ambulances. So this is kind of a hectic scene of the orange lines around this left corner is the gas and gulp on fire, with the firefighters all around it. Over here is the sign of the of chatterboxes and why most of you are out there. The EMTs have moved some of you around. Carlos, we're going to start with you in this scene as Sheriff Brackish. Sheriff Lee Brackish is how he says it. Decides to come over to you, and while covered in your mylar blanket and being treated for your wounds, the sheriff of Shermer Meadows, Lee Brackish, walks over to you. Well, now what in God's name has gone on here? Is what he asks of Carlos, the kid cop. What would you like to do, Carlos?
I look up at him with my 2 Salisbury steak dinners between my crotch legs as I sit Indian style underneath the flag. We get a worm's eye view going up, and as you pan out and past, you see my badge, and then you get to see my silhouette, and then you see the American flag wave. With the
political commercial
still flashing off, but never quite hitting the flag. It won't hit the flag, damn
Never
it.
hits the flag.
This movie's getting partly subsidized by the Coast Guard.
The funniest thing is let me describe what the viewers at home are watching. Is the viewers at home are inside the school watching a distressed Blair run into a classroom, followed by like some of the other classmates just to check on her before being yelled and tossed into the library of doom. Outside the library windows, you see that there's a fire and ambulances and just people running around. But in the American DVD version of this, they deleted that out and made it just look like a cloudy day outside. Whereas then if you get the bootleg original edit, you can see that there's a fire and people scrambling for their lives out.
It's just overcast. It just got
It's overcast. It's just those FBI agents aren't holding a gun to ET, they're walkie-talkies.
Yeah, it's the Canadian re-release that you can usually just find at Comic-Con.
Exactly.
On VHS.
You have to find it from that guy that doesn't even have a stand at Comic-Con, but he has like a truck outside in the parking lot.
Yeah.
You know, that was a real fire, actually. They decided to film it anyway, and they settled out of court for like $500,000.
Yeah.
keep the cameras rolling. Just keep the cameras rolling.
Keep it rolling. We're not going to get this light again, guys. We're not going to get this light again.
It's the golden hour, people.
It's the golden hour.
So much gold rising from the
flame.
Wait,
Oh,
gold
also,
fire?
This will only be good promotion.
gold fire. What?
Gold fire?
Fire.
What?
So
Saddle.
Rob, before you tell me what you want to do with to Brackish, or like what you want to do in response to Brackish, also I want to remind all of you that it is Act 2, which means for luck and resilience, I'm rolling 2d6s.
Ooh.
And for vulnerability, I still only roll 1. So remember that.
Carlos the cop gets up, takes Sheriff Brackish over to Bill, make sure that Bill isn't too burnt, takes Bill over to EMTs,
Yep.
at which point he looks at Sheriff Brackish as Sheriff Brackish loads Bill into the back of the EMT and says, "When I turn 18, I'm coming for your job, punk." Sheriff Brackish turns around and says, "What?" And I said, "Punk says what?" And he said, I said, "Nothing, sir. Nothing, sir. I learned so much from underneath you. It's wonderful. Wonderful to."
Give me a luck roll, please. It's a 5 that I rolled.
4.
Oh, you were saying that to Brackish or to Billy?
I was saying it behind Braxton.
Oh, so Brackish just looks at you and goes, "Say that again, kid. Give me a vulnerability check."
Uh-oh. This just turned into pump up the volume.
Yep, pump up the volume. Pump up. I rolled a 1. What's that?
A 3.
And Brackish comes up to you and grabs you by your blue collar and your little badge and says, "Boy, when you turn 18, I hope you think you're half the man I've become in this town. Give me a resilience, and how do you want this to look if you succeed?"
If I succeed, I do one of those super cool, like I put my hands in between and I brush him off and I push him and I say, "You see this? You see this right here? You didn't give me this. The mayor gave me this.
I earned this by getting my name in that drawing."
And if I succeed really good, Nikki's impressed.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. I rolled a 6 for resilience.
9.
Nikki is right there watching.
A 9!
Yeah.
Oh, so not only do you snap Brackish back, like Brackish moves back, and Nikki, you straight up notice, and you're like,
yeah.
All right. He's got some fire. So you're able.
That's right, Ice. I am dangerous.
Call me the gas station across. Call me the gas and gulp. I got fire.
So I forgot to tell you on that first roll that you missed, you took 1 point of your better half, like your betters, because it's your boss yelling at you, and you fall back. Your vulnerability was exposed, so you took a 2nd point of damage because Brackish like grabbed you and was threatening you for like try to take my job, but you were able to break that shit and get your composure back and feel, I am Carlos the Kid. So you're able to heal that. You're able to heal a wound back. Excuse me, I just burped. Excuse me. You're able to heal a wound back. And as you're able to like put Brackish in his place.
Cool.
Stand backish, brackish.
Nice.
I mean, that's a burn. All right. So out of the rest of you, so that's that scene that that Rob just had for Carlos is what's called a scene prompt, and the rest of you don't have scene prompts in this because there's something else going on, and I need to know who has the lowest luck.
Mine's
Is
4.
is it still Perry?
I think it's still Perry. With
I like
a
that
total
Marcus
luck
is
of
pointing
2.
at your. It's like that dude. That screen, yeah, he's got the worst.
It's not even that way in the Zoom chat I'm looking at for this, and like
It's perfect for me. So
and
when
I
he
know
does
it's
it.
pointing at me because I know it's not the GM.
All right. So
So,
you
Yeah,
of
that's about
course
right.
it's me.
It's about right. It would cut past Mark to you.
I have never been lucky. You're not lucky when you're gifted with true sight.
That's true. You had to earn all of your skills like a true paranormal fanatic.
Do you know how much tinfoil costs?
So, Mr. Squib, Mr. the Squib, I apologize.
Yeah.
You're sitting underneath the Chatterbox's sign as you see the fire raging over at the Gas and Gulp. There's paramedics and firefighters and cops just kind of wandering about everywhere. And I'm going to ask you to give me a luck roll for that.
Deal.
Without asking you what you want to do with your turn. I'm taking it over.
I respect this because
I got a
rolled
6.
a 1.
Oh no! All right.
Oh.
That's perfect. That's actually the best thing that could have happened.
Not my fan.
Oh
No, it's not your
No.
van. It's not your van.
I mean, there is a
They
deep fryer going in the passenger side of the van.
I mean, that's fair. Your van
There's
is probably
cops
on
everywhere.
fire already. So you're sitting there and something catches the side of your, like the corner of your eye, and
All right.
like most paranormal fanatics, you immediately assume it's a ghost or something. But when you
Yeah,
turn
my
your
mom
head,
suggests.
you see that there's a bunch of firefighters rushing towards the fire, and you blow it off as just them. So you're going to take 1 point of oblivious damage as you don't see what's happening in front of you.
That's wounding.
Give me a vulnerability check. I rolled a 6.
I rolled a 3.
So you're not going to take any more damage as you're focusing on the firefighters, but we are going into resilience. What would you like, if you pass, what would you like this to look like?
No. Remember, you have the true sight. You can see past forms.
Nice. Give me resilience. Ah!
8.
Well, that rolled out of my dice box, so I'll roll
Which
it.
means I won.
Oh shit, you got an 8. Same here.
Yes.
So you heal that last point as you realize that far across the well, not that far across, but across the street, you notice that oh, I'm not on the right act. Son of a bitch. Sorry. You notice that you can see this odd little I don't know if you're on the map on Roll20 or not, but you notice some small odd little clouds that are coming out from the school, but you don't have a chance to say anything. So next up would be, let's see, that you're next to them, so I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to actually toss it over to the babysitter.
All right.
And what would you like to do on this turn? You are sitting on the curb. You don't notice these little dots yet, or these smoke clouds, but you are on the curb, and the EMTs are checking on you and making sure that you're all right. Like, is there anything you'd like to do with your turn?
I think I should do some interaction with the ex. I just feel like this is the right moment.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you guys almost die, it's the best time to start talking about how you guys used to love each other.
Yeah, so the babysitter is going to come up to him. I assume Brackish. She'll kind of give Brackish a look.
Oh yeah,
we need to talk.
Brackish knows about you. Like, Lee Brackish knows about Vicky or Nikki 7. I almost said Vicky, but Nikki.
Yeah. Vicky, she'll use that name sometimes when she's hitchhiking.
When she's at the club and using her fake ID.
Yeah, exactly. She's almost 18, though. She will be soon.
She's like almost there.
Yeah.
I'm like practically there.
So yeah, she'll go up to Carlos and
All right.
kind of say, "Hey," and kind of roll her eyes a little bit and kind of try to fake it like she didn't see like how awesome he is.
Oh, Carlos. This is going to be a roll-off between both of you. Both of you roll luck.
All right.
11.
Oh.
Oh, damn. Oh, I got an 8.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, in the player versus player rules, you don't take a wound. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. You do take a wound.
All right.
So if the active player is not the winner, so you're gonna take 1 wound of I'm gonna give it another oblivious because or actually not oblivious, but like that your flirtiness.
Yeah, it's revealed. It's obvious, right?
Yeah, and
cover's
Carlos
blown.
has been put through your shit before. He's still trying to figure out if he's like gonna stay married to you or not.
Well, and who would be better to have with me right now than a guy who can go through all this shit? Like, she's gonna connect with him as best she can on like a mutual level to make sure that he covers her ass and so she doesn't die. So she's gonna plan on using him for the rest of this whole experience.
So like Carlos is definitely like not on board with this.
No, the pain comes from the oblivious as I just look past her over at the camp counselor and give the camp counselor a wink.
Well, what's up?
Well,
what's up? Yeah, so that's your one wound right there. So go ahead and give me a vulnerability check now, Nikki.
All right.
I got a 3.
All right, 2D. I get 2D6 on that, too. Oh, 7?
Oh, no. Okay, so it hurts a little bit more than you thought it would, Nikki. And your heart breaks a little bit more than you thought it would. So you're going to take an extra point of damage of, I didn't know this would hurt this way. And like I said, damage in this game is all over the place. I just make up things as I go sometimes.
That's beautiful.
It's the way it should be.
I agree.
So you take that point.
High school love life.
All
Go.
And then give me a resilience. And what would you like to happen if this passes?
If the resilience passes, then the time they've had together, the money in the bank that they kind of have established over all these years of kind of going back and forth, you know, they mean something, those memories.
Right.
I kind of want to make sure that he kind of gets that fantasy idea of the few moments where she was good to him,
nice.
And just omit all the other stuff.
All right.
Would be the goal.
Yeah, that summer in between 10th and 11th grade.
Right?
Right. I got a 9 for resilience.
All right. I got a 7.
A 7.
Oh.
So you say this, and Carlos, how do you respond? Because Nikki failed, so Nikki doesn't get to heal back a wound, and it's still hurt. What is it that how do you respond to Nikki trying to do this? Like, what is it that hurts Nikki, basically? And doesn't allow her
I
to
look
heal?
at Nikki and I say, "Oh, did you have to borrow your mom's pants today?"
Oh, that means you got mom butt.
She is just shattered. She's just like...
That's fair.
And she just looks and takes in the scene and just goes kind of a little bit sort of disassociated and sort of falls into like a dark depression.
Oh no!
That's where you go.
That's where you go.
But she doesn't want
This is
anyone to
where you go.
notice, so she'll be constantly trying
As
to
you're
hide.
sipping a PBR.
Yeah, what's really funny is Nikki had never heard of The Cure nor the Smiths until this heartbreak.
Yesterday, it got so hard, I
that-
thought I was going to die.
If you come talk to me, I've got some really good bands you should listen to.
I got some tapes I can make you because it's
can make
the
you some
80s.
Because
I
it's
always
the
have so
80s.
much
But
fun.
we have smartphones and not CDs.
Hey, you know what the symbol
Or
here on the back of their
Spotify.
disc means? That's the record label. That means it's owned. That means it's manufactured. You gotta drop this shit. It's exploitative of your feelings. It's bullshit, man.
I'm talking
Bullshit.
about like the Peel session stuff, like the.
Oh
Were they-
yeah,
were-
a
were they
state-run
didn't
music radio program.
They
That's
didn't
exactly
even
what
know
I
they were
need.
being recorded. Let's just be real. They didn't know they were being recorded, and that's
That's
the
the only
best
true
time.
music. The true music is what happens accidentally.
Right?
It's that tree falling in the forest that nobody hears, but it's
That's the best music.
that's
All
the
right,
best
so-
music.
So we've had a Nikki and we've had a Carlos. the
noise
cop.
rock.
Out of and we've had Squib, right?
Yes.
So we've had Squib, Nikki, and Carlos. So between Astaroth and Filbert, what are your luck scores?
9.
And mine is 4.
All right, so it's gonna be Astaroth.
Okay.
You're next, and you've noticed that You've noticed that the squib is acting a little weird, a little weirder than usual, as he just now noticed that the gas station was on fire. Let's be real. Should have known that from the beginning.
Yeah.
But actually, Perry, remind us what happened during your roll. I just forgot it. I am so sorry. The squib, Philip.
Oh, wait, hold on. What did I not do? Because I was just rolling with it.
No, what happened during your turn?
Oh, so what happened was that you took control of it, and some firefighters passed me by, and I was like, no, there's a truth behind the truth, and that's the real truth, because the truth you see is a lie. And I saw through that veil.
And then you saw the smoke cloud show up. I forgot, right.
Where there's smoke, where there's fire, there's smoke.
And so Astaroth, you are watching your already kind of weird friend, who you were on top of with your parasol. And they're acting a little bit odder than usual. What would you like to do with your turn?
I'm sitting squib down by their van, and I'm saying like, the reason why I think you're losing it a little, and I'm not saying you're crazy. I am saying you're getting a little imbalanced, is because your mind and your space aren't organized. And if you would let me, I don't know, this squib, this is going to sound weird, but if you need an assistant to get your stuff organized, get all that amazing paperwork that you have put together, and use some of your checks that you get from the state to pay me to hire me as your assistant, I think we could be a pretty amazing combination.
So that's going to be an Astaroth versus squib roll. So it's going to be a luck versus a luck.
So I'm trying to get hired. I'm trying to actually create a job to be hired.
You're trying to deliberately destroy my objective.
So squib got that. A 6. So what did
oh, damn it.
What'd you get?
Roll 2.
Oh no.
2.
So you say this, and like Squib just starts locking every compartment, like even things that don't have a compartment. Like there's a safe in the door that I lock.
Yeah. So
I'm like, I wouldn't hire you. I saw you smoke weed earlier today.
And
you don't have a phone.
You gave me weed.
And no one has your phone number. You have no references I can call.
So
you broke my phone over your knee.
So,
you're welcome for like the 5th time.
Astaroth, you take 1 point of he didn't accept me damage. And then I need you to give me a vulnerability check against my roll of a 6.
Okay.
So you should be able to beat that.
Vulnerability of 6, right? You said?
Yeah, I said I rolled a 6, yeah.
Okay. That should be it.
Oh, yeah. So you don't take any more damage as you literally use the argument, you broke my phone.
Cause me to be fired. How do I want
resilience works out, how do you want it to work out for you?
I think I would like Filbert to see that I am organizing before the papers were snatched from my
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah.
That I have respect for archives and respect for files.
Give me your resilience.
And I will.
I just want you to be like, I want you and Filbert to be happy, is what it is. I have an 8.
I got an 8.
Hey! So, Filbert, what's really funny is it is your turn coming up as the last one to take your first scene, and you do notice exactly redescribe Astaroth, what you want Filbert to see.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's the scene, it's very tight focus on Filbert. And maybe there's just like this thrumming music playing, and it's looking across the way, and I'm just like shuffling paperwork, and Perry's like grabbing it from my hands. I'm picking up more paperwork, and I'm not just like stacking it, and it's putting, and there's a look of Filbert like, You might
Give
be
me your
worthy.
resilience then. Let's make sure that this works out.
Or did you roll resilience?
Oh, we already did that.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Oh, I'm sorry. You did that
That's
already.
the
I
8.
apologize. Yes.
Yeah.
So you were successful in doing that. Next up is Filbert, and then actually, Nikki, you had a scene, correct? Okay,
Yeah,
I just
Reddy
wanted
had
to
that
make sure
scene.
everybody got a scene. All right, so right, it did.
Yeah, terrible bummer.
So Filbert, you're seeing this extra work that Astaroth is trying to prove to you. What would you like to do with
maybe,
your scene?
oh wow, he's not only mysterious but organized. It might be useful. And I'm going to help myself across the street and go towards the door.
Oh, could you please give me a luck check to see? I got a 5.
I got a 7.
A 7. You notice, I do love that you were like, I'm heading back to the school. You
I have
do
responsibilities.
notice that you see that running out of the school are these odd, smoky little avatars. And so we are going to end this on a cliffhanger in the middle of Act 2. And maybe one day I'll come back. I mean, I'll definitely come back and we'll finish this because it's the Death Fist Club and we haven't even gotten to the great puns or jokes yet. But what you Filbert Waddlestaff notice is not only are these clouds running out of the school, but that they have attached themselves to certain members of the first responders
Oh shit.
that are out there. And where's your character's right there. This little dude that I just deleted turns into, that was actually an EMT that wasn't there, but I decided to, turns into what is known as the black-eyed creatures. And some of the citizens that were being taken care of by the EMTs and firefighters that were a part of this like weird explosion from the gas station, there's some of the citizens around. You notice that these clouds are going towards them, EMTs and firefighters. And Miss, what would you like to do with your first turn before we call it, Mr. Filbert Waddlestaff?
So I can see one of the creature,
This is this one is the only one that you can see, and it's turned in from an EMT or a firefighter or a civilian, whatever you want to say was there. It's turned into this like possessed being.
All right. I'm going to, as I'm opening the door to the school, turn to everyone and say, "Oh, look, a new species. I discovered it's mine. Look at that." I'm going to point, and then I'm going to continue
Give
into
me
the
a
library.
luck check on that. I got an 8.
It's a Filbertian walking shrew. I got an 13.
Oh, yeah. What did you call it?
A Filbertian walking shrew.
No, well, there it is.
That
I'm going to
Bill
put
Nye.
that. Will
Steal my after-school special, will you?
Burton walking shrew. I hope I spell any of this right.
We'll fix it
Probably
in
not.
post.
I'm about to put it onto onto that character. Filbertson walking shrew? Does that work?
Good enough.
Good enough. Okay, well, so for everyone, yeah, we could we're gonna call it here at a cliffhanger as these smoky little dots. I am also going to add where everybody, just because it's funnier to add it to where everybody can see. You notice slowly that all of the that a few of the first responders are now turning into these weird black-eyed creatures. You don't know what they are.
I just told them what they were.
Well, I mean, you yelled it out. But it is a mystery still on if they are kind or violent. But let's be real. It's a horror coming of age.
Yeah.
They're not kind. So I'm sorry we didn't get through the adventure tonight, but we will have a part 2 where we will all come back at this point and see how you guys handle the rest of the Death Fist Club.
All right.
All right.
Does that sound good? All right.
Yay. I think that's gonna be pretty damn fantastic. So
We haven't even gotten to the Breakfast Club references yet. This is all still outside before like people even notice that things are happening.
Yeah.
In the bootleg DVD you get, you can see the clouds coming out of the school and getting into the EMTs while they're about to have lunch in the library.
In the library.
Where they're like squishing the like Captain Crunch and Pixie Stick sandwich together. Freddy's pulled out 8 fucking like bologna sandwiches and like 5 bags of chips. And Blair's sitting there with her wonderful sushi. I don't know what you guys are talking about TM style, but anyways, sorry.
Wonderful. So that's the end of part 1 of the Death Fist Club. Here we've been playing Collateral Damage. Collateral Damage is available as PDF and in physical form at clericgames.com, as well as Drive-Thru RPG. You can also pick it up at roll20.com to play, as some of you have seen or will be seeing in the future on our YouTube show. That you can play it on your virtual tabletop with tokens drawn by Mr. Daniel Salcedo and fashioned together by Patrick, last name?
Schroeder.
Pat Schroeder.
Schrader. I'm sorry, because he goes by the Shrad Man.
By the Shrad Man. I'm just going to say the Shrad Man is much, much better.
Shrad Man did an amazing job on the Roll20 character sheet. So a lot of the games on Roll20 are usually these big company games like Pathfinder, D&D, Call of Cthulhu, and all of these big game licenses have their character sheet available for anybody with a free account to be like, oh, we're playing 5e, so I'm going to use the D&D character sheet for all my players. I didn't know what all that entailed to put a character sheet on Roll20. And seeing as the Roll20 aspect, I did all on my own. I'm not a coder, and I reached out to Pat, and the Shrad man did amazing. So awesome. I hope he doesn't mind that I keep calling him the Shrad man, but
well, it helps that
the Shrad man did a great job on these.
The game's simple.
I think it was really fun.
I think it makes it. You made his job easy because a 5e sheet compared to the
right. I've actually done one. Yeah, I've done a 5e on Roll20 before, like a character sheet, and somebody else's game. I was like, no, I'm just gonna do my paper sheet. I mean, nothing against
or Beyond. People use Beyond, and it's pretty, but it's just the complexity.
All of you analogs.
I know. You know what? It's the 80s. That's why it's the 80s.
Oh my god.
All right, we're gonna wrap up with that. Then I'm gonna take it around the clock for everybody. Say goodbye. I'm gonna go in the other direction, and I thank Jeff for joining us here and joining our little weird crew here at the Midway Tabletop. So Jeff, say goodbye and
Thanks. This was great. Hope to see you guys again for part 2 of the Deathless Club.
It's gonna happen.
Yes, it will be happening. Philip, it's been too long since I get to game with you, and now I'm trying to get hired by you. I just want to take care of you and your weird brain.
You took me in as a lowly street urchin into your DCC game, and
I love a good DCC game.
I love that game.
Those were like the highlights of my month when we got this going on. So, and thank you for inviting me to this. It was a lot of fun tonight, and the game is great. It's so much fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you very much, bud.
Thanks for doing tech and playing at the same time. Mark, say goodnight, goodbye, and all that good stuff.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
You did great.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's just a pleasure playing with you, and just love the game, love the art. Yeah. What a great crew.
Oh, thank you.
Good times all around. Kudos. For me, all I promote is Eternium Road. The amazing Marcus Flores.
Such a good story.
On Wednesdays, and all the other, we got Morkborg, come back. We have Morktoberfest opportunities coming forward. So there's a lot of exciting stuff going on this Twitch. So
yeah, it's gonna be good.
Looking forward.
Good. My other brother from another mother, Rob.
Boba Fresh. You can check me out at Boba_Fresh at Instagram. You can check out Good to Geek Out and We Roll Deep, where we talk about geeky things from the point of view of what it's like being a POC, growing up in a world filled with geeky things that weren't quite marketed to you, but damn it if you didn't love them still. And and I have to say I'm a long-time reader, first-time player.
Thank you.
There's a lot of times that I just kind of crept over everyone's shoulder at Gamescape San Francisco. Please support your local. Watch everyone play and be like, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
But I was super crushing on Daniel back then, so I was just too shy to sit at the table. I had to leave.
I mean,
I'm out.
I've been crushing on Rob over here for a while now. It's pretty hard.
Betsy swooped a good one.
I mean, Betsy did swoop a good one.
Speaking of Betsy's good one, it's the author, the creator, the illustrator, not the editor. Editor was Lo Pierce and and Brian Whitlock.
Brian Whitlock did a good job on the Deathless Club edits, but Lo did the rule book and the first adventure, Lightning Bolt to My Heart.
That's awesome. Say goodnight, Daniel, and then I'm gonna get out of here.
Okay, good night. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter Just look up Daniel Salcedo or Collateral Damage. I do have a new book coming soon for Collateral Damage, the second book, with a lot more settings, a lot more charts, and some new campaign rules coming soon. So you can hold on to your characters, but I still hope that that goes through editing well, because I haven't sent any of this to editing yet. But if you want to support or are interested in Collateral Damage, just follow me. If you want to support, like Marcus said, you can find Collateral Damage as a PDF on DriveThruRPG. You can find it as a physical book through clericgames.com and go to our page. Thank you, Cleric Games, for helping me get this out. And also go to Roll20. We just got the rule book, the tokens, and the 2 adventures in this rule book available now on Roll20 that you can just do your virtual and stay safe and stay socially distanced. Because let's be real, 2020 is weird. And we need.
It's not the 80s.
It's not the 80s. There was a whole other slew of horrific, terrible.
There was a lot of things going on in the
then.
80s. Yeah.
So,
I was like, instead of COVID, I think there was what, like the Cold War? Or...
Anyways, we're wrapping up.
Yep. Good night, guys.
We love you. Thank you for joining us. And
I love you all. Thank you, Rob and Marcus, for being a part of this. Mark, thank you for doing the tech. Phil and Jeff, thank you guys for joining us. You all are my friends now. Rob and Marcus, I'll love you forever.
Thank you, everyone, for
Take care, guys.
Work.
Bye.
Yeah.